Hey, DK, you awake?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Core. This is the video game podcast called Core. It's a great start, really. You know, this is one we can be proud of. I'm Scott Johnson. That was John Jagger you heard there briefly. And, of course, Beau Schwartz. We're all here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Relax, guy.
Yeah, relax, guy. Everything's fine, guy. Relax. If you don't know what we're talking about, go find out for yourself. Hey, we're gonna get right into it. We got a lot of stuff going on. I know that this may seem a little self-serving because he and I are friends, but I do want to mention this just because I think it's very cool. I was informed earlier this week that Liam O'Brien and crew over there at Critical Role are making their first video game. They're getting into the video game business. You might say to yourselves, wait, didn't they already do that with like Date Everything and some of this other stuff? Nope, those are collaborations. Those are, other people producing a game and them being a part of it. This is them making, designing, writing, doing their own game. They're working with an indie studio they're partnering with, not a big AAA studio. They're working with a small, scrappy group like they are, who care about their employees and all that kind of stuff. You will not be hearing about massive layoffs from this thing. And they're making a game, and I'm just excited for Liam and crew. I'm stoked for those guys. I cannot wait to play whatever it is. And because
it's like they're unlocked. They're not just in the booth now, the vocal booth.
That's right.
They're like, wait a second, I want this thing to heal more hit points. And they're like, okay, yes, sir, Liam.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we love Critical Role.
And they talked a bunch about it at the Comic-Con stuff this week, so there's more out there to go read up on. But
yeah, they had a lot of stuff coming out of Comic-Con.
A
lot of stuff going for them.
Yeah, they spilled a lot of tea, as they put it.
Vox Machina getting another season even before a final season, before the next season airs.
Yep.
That's big news.
Yeah, Mighty 9 happening.
Mighty 9 happening. I saw the trailer for that. That looked awesome.
Yep. It's very cool. And as friends of the program, I'll bet we get beta access to whatever this game is. I'm just saying it.
I mean,
right now.
I don't know.
I bet we do.
At least we do know that Liam knows there's 3 people on the show. Which means that if we only get one key, if a key does happen, which would be a privilege, and there's only one, it is an intentional snub.
Oh, of course. Yeah. He's really laying down who his favorite is.
Yeah.
If that happens.
Can say who it's for. He can be, here's your key. It is for, and then he can put who his favorite is.
Yeah. It'll be Beau or John. It's fine.
It's the dispatch. It's the studio doing dispatch.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. It's the dispatch people. I forgot their name, though. I didn't write it down. The name of the dev, I mean. Let's see. Dispatch.
There's some Telltale pedigree, like old Telltale.
Yeah.
With that, right?
I think so. Let's see. Dispatch game. Beau, you said the name just now.
People are really excited
Studio.
for Dispatch.
Ad Hoc. That's what it is. Yeah, Dispatch looks really cool. There it is.
I haven't played it yet, but it does look cool. So I'm like, okay, and you can kind of get a sense.
It's that superhero
People were
thing.
really excited about that demo. I didn't play the demo because I already was sold on the game, and I was just all it's going to do is spoil me for things I'm definitely going to play.
Sure.
So Ad Hoc was founded in 2018 by industry veterans from Telltale Games, Ubisoft, and Night School Studio. I haven't heard of the last one, but
6:00 on a Tuesday.
Heard former Ubisoft employees can make some pretty good content.
Yeah, they do all right when they get out of the stranglehold that is the French conglomerate Ubisoft.
Yeah, it turns out. Did you see the Expedition 33 guys are getting invited everywhere right now?
Yeah.
There's photos of them with Kojima at his studio, and there's photos with the director of the Final Fantasy VII remake and rebirth and all that. So they went there too.
Yep.
So
they all want a piece of that
going
pie.
All over the place, taking pictures with them.
Sure.
By the way, Ad Hoc is also doing The Wolf Among Us 2.
Yeah, that's right. And that's through the Telltale connections. They ended up. That was a long fought thing to get those rights.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm excited about it.
I'm going to install it. I need to play Wolf.
It's good.
Wolf Among Us is really good.
Yeah, that game's really good.
Really, really good.
I've played up to chapter 3, and then it's like, wait for the next episode, and then it never finished.
Oh, you should. You really should. I think it's their best work.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I have nothing bad to say about
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of Telltale games I really like, which makes me realize how much I appreciated what they did. I mean, that first Walking Dead, it still makes me cry.
Yeah.
I haven't played it since becoming a dad. I bet it would be harder now than it was
Probably
back then.
Yeah.
the Batman stuff was really, really good.
Yep.
It's the only Borderlands I really liked.
Borderlands.
And Wolf Among Us definitely also stood out as one of the best. So, that's 4 games that are awesome.
Borderlands 4 just went gold, by the way, today. Just a side note.
Oh,
That
yeah?
game- yeah, Borderlands. You can get it. You can order it soon.
Borderlands.
Soon you'll be playing Borderlands.
It
Yeah.
always makes me think of, what was it? Is it the series of unfortunate events or whatever, where they're the Bodeland children or something like that?
Oh.
What's their name?
Was that what they were called? I don't remember.
I don't know.
This is the Jim Carrey movie or the book? It
I
was
watched
based on?
the Jim
Lemony
Carrey. Yeah.
Because there was a TV show, well, there's the books, the Jim Carrey movie, then a TV adaptation, and I never
The
saw it.
TV adaptation was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
I never saw it. Meant to. I have
Patrick Harris was the role that Jim Carrey did.
Oh, that's right.
Baudelaire, that's what it was. They were the Baudelaire children.
Oh, maybe maybe it's
So
just that
people were like, Baudelaire's.
Pitchford's just a huge Baudelaire fan, and he just can't help it. Psychopath. But anyway, Aaron Paul, Jeffrey Wright, Laura Bailey, which is how they got this connection. There's a whole story in the Variety article. But they're all hooking up for this, whatever their next project is, and they're going to do a bunch of production stuff for the final release of this Dispatch business. So I wonder if Aaron Paul's ever goes, bitch, while they're all working with him. You know what I mean? Like just full on Jesse.
I would
science
imagine
fiction.
he probably doesn't like using that word because
Yeah.
he gets asked to do it a lot.
It typecasts him a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Or he's walking down the road and people are just like, science, bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
If I had to guess, I think he seems good-natured about it because I've certainly seen him do it a couple times. But the fact that I've seen him outside of the show have to do it many times, I would imagine it is a frequent request.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. We don't know much about the game beyond that, but they are going to make a game outside of this Dispatch thing, although they're going to work on that too. So,
It's set in Exandria, like their D&D realm.
oh, I didn't know that. Is that so? It's an in-realm thing. The game they want to make, right? Is what you're talking about?
It's tied into Critical. At least that's what I read. I mean, I don't have firsthand knowledge like some people, but
That makes sense.
but I
Why not?
like I think like Critical Role is so crazy, right? And I know that they do well, but I also know that they put a lot of money into what they're doing. So who knows, what they're getting out of it? I don't know. I just hope they don't have a video game product. Like clearly they're on their 4th animated series, so
Yeah.
people like it. And Dagger Heart's a resounding success. I still have to crack mine open and read it. I haven't yet, but I think that sold really well. So why not? I mean, shit. I want a There Will Be Dungeons video game. So this
Yeah, you
is
do.
like. Yeah, I'm like, it's about time. They've been doing this thing for a while, and only just now they're starting the video game, and them shits. I don't know why I say it that way, but them shits take a long time. They're probably the longest thing to make out of all of them, I'm going to guess.
You know what? I think you're right. Movie production has a pretty quick schedule once scripts are done and pre-production's done. They just hit the ground and do like 90-day filming. Then they have post-production. I'm not saying any of these things are easy.
Well, they do
But-
cartoons, so it's whatever the animation drawing
Yeah.
like, I guess.
Sure. But a lot of that stuff is outsourced. A lot of it's assisted with like some 3D help and all that. But a video game is like this huge, massive undertaking that includes animation and story and pre-production, post-production, mid-production, alphas, betas, ridiculous amounts of testing. Like
Bug testing.
games are hard.
Yeah.
Games are hard. But I think them partnering with a cool...
They're like, that's not supposed to be a sword. That's a noodle. And it's like, oh, that changes like 8 departments, things they have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, meeting, get on Zoom, everybody.
cascade your code problems when you change the noodle to a sword. But them working with somebody who seems like they're kind of like-minded. They have a kind of a similar vibe about the company that Critical Role does. I'm just really excited for these guys. So
Well, and it's also apparently not going to be their first game, which is also always kind of nice. I mean, we heard that from, again, the Expedition 33 devs. They said, does this put pressure on you for your next game? And they said no, because if we can do this on our first game where we're trying and messing everything up, imagine what we'll do when we actually know what we're doing.
yeah, the software
So-
pressure. I think that whole sophomore idea that your sophomore effort it has way more pressure on it. I get that with movies and books, especially books. But that's not the same as this. Like, this is a lot of processes that they had to figure out for 33, get it as right as they could, learn a billion lessons, and now they can start on a foot that has learned those lessons and all that processing and all that other stuff they got to do to build a game. I think they're in better shape than ever to blow us away.
It's probably only true if it's a genre change. Like if you make XCOM 1 with your team and then now you're making XCOM 2, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, the pressure is...
But if you make XCOM and now you're doing Puzzle Quest, it's like, well,
hopefully it isn't a step back like that.
Technical things probably easier to move forward. I think when there's a narrative expectation, it gets a little trickier because all of a sudden it's like, well, how do we one up what we did
you
before?
guys said, you've said like, and people always have said, because I haven't played it myself, like, oh man, I got to this part in Expedition 33 and it's got Matrix levels of this is awesome, you know? So if I just from a narrative standpoint, I'm like, can they really do better than this game? Like from the way people talk about it, I don't know firsthand, but I'm like,
I don't know. We'll
I mean, there's
see.
a bunch of Chrono games, and no one's like Chrono Cross, the best game ever. They're like Chrono Trigger, the first one is the best ever.
I like Chrono Cross. Chrono Trigger is the better game.
Yeah.
But you don't speak about it in hollowed tones like
No, you've made it clear on here. Chrono Cross you like, but you're not going to put it in the same seat.
I mean, I would even go so far as to say I love Chrono Cross. I think it's an extremely good game. It's not a great Chrono Trigger sequel. It's a great game. It's not a great sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, if Chrono Trigger, prior to your marriage to your wonderful wife now, if it was a woman, you would have married her a long time ago. That's how much you love that first game.
Yeah. And then you'd be John Trigger.
Yeah, John Trigger.
Oh, man, that's a pretty... You know what? I think I have a pretty decent last name, but John Trigger sounds pretty cool.
Why not Chrono Jagger? That's
if
pretty
there's
good.
two people and one of those people have the last name Trigger, whoever isn't Trigger has to change their name.
yeah. Forget about gender norms and how that usually goes. Yeah.
I'm going to stay Beau Schwartz when I can be Beau Trigger.
Beau Trigger.
Beau Trigger is pretty good.
Beau Trigger's not bad.
That last name's getting changed in a heartbeat.
My retro action side scroller is going to be called Beau Trigger.
Beau Trigger.
Yep. So while you're working on Lake Run, we got Beau Trigger, and then John can work on Chrono Jagger. Well, anyway, it's exciting stuff. We hope for the best for them, and we'll talk more about it when we know more. But now this. Got some news this week to discuss and talk about. You know, this payment processors forcing censorship thing that we talked around Steam. Steam was the sort of the subject of that discussion last week. Kind of thought that would be it, or that would at least be like, all right, well, that's a thing. It's happening. We'll see how it susses out. Anyway, moving on. It's gotten more complicated over the week. John, someone else
it took less than a week. You know, we mentioned during all of that, and I don't think, maybe I tuned out. Look, I'm as guilty of it as anybody. It's why Grandma's here at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe I tuned out and missed some key evidence in this presentation. But I did not understand what was going on. And then Itch got hit and had to unindex a bunch of adult games. And what is happening is there is a group called Collective Shout. It is an organization that has decided that you out there are too stupid to decide what you want to spend your money on, and they're going to do it for you.
Yep.
And they are putting a lot of pressure on payment processors, Visa, MasterCard, those people, to put pressure on digital platforms to remove games from being able to be sold on these platforms.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's an extremely shitty thing. Because while it is very easy to look and go, well, there's some games out there that could be made, sometimes even are being made. Some stuff even gets pulled without any of this happening, with just common sense. Like, that needs to go down. There are some things like that. This group, Collective Shout, has targeted games that aren't even pornographic in nature. They've targeted Grand Theft Auto 5. They've targeted Detroit Become Human. They've
Baldur's Gate 3, I believe, is on their radar.
Was that another one that they
was,
went after?
Yeah, that's one I was reading
It's
about. Got bear sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
And ultimately, it comes down to this. Payment processors should not be making decisions about what you spend money on, and a third-party organization should not be the morality police to decide this.
Yep.
So even if you look at it and go, okay, well, I'm okay with a couple of these games they mentioned being pulled, they clearly do not have your interest at heart.
No.
So these are bad people that are making people that shouldn't have any say in what you buy bow down to their wills.
Yeah.
It is a very dangerous and very bad precedent to set.
Yeah, we thought last week it was a slippery slope. It turns out it's not even a slope. It's like a straight up cliff.
It turns out, yeah, they're already going for it.
Yeah.
Like, this is an organization that is already going for this. And they are only going, and even if they wheel it in, you know, like, okay, well, yeah, we went after a couple games, but we're really only going after the bad ones. It does become a snowball effect, because as soon as one organization does it, another organization can do it. And it turns into this thing of companies just trying to sort of erase things off of our content. That it's not good. You know, people make fun of that Disney message that pops up before old Disney films where it's like, hey, this contains some stuff that at the time we thought was okay. It's not, it wasn't okay then, it's okay now. We all have seen the message that appears in front of some of those cartoon classics, and people make fun of it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I love that message because it acknowledges that we did wrong shit. Nothing makes me more annoyed than people trying to act like bad things have never happened.
Yeah, I hate that.
You don't learn anything from trying to pretend we live in a world that doesn't have terrible things happening in it. And if the more you close your eyes, the more you stick your head in the sand, the more you pretend that all these things don't exist and we live in a perfect world, the easier it is for those things to happen.
Yep.
It's not, you're not making a better world, you're making a worse one, because you're making a world where those things can be more easily enabled.
Yeah.
Understanding where we went wrong, understanding times we messed up, it is important. And so organizations that come in and want to take out games because it contains violence of some kind, we live in a world where violence happens.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm looking at so I'm looking into Collective Shout. This is an Australian not-for-profit.
Okay.
This is Australia telling you Americans
Yeah.
what to do.
Let the Puritans are coming from the outside.
Right in and explain themselves.
Yeah, no kidding. Look, here's the
board of directors. They're like, everyone is like, so look, first of all, these guys are like, you know, as a baseline, all right, anti-violence against women and things of that nature is kind of what this organization's about, and that's not a bad thing.
Of course not.
But yes, on one of their media things, they said we wrote a letter to payment processors to, like, it's that thing that goes too far. Like everything John said is correct. So
Yeah.
they're just trying. They're like, oh, these terrible things shouldn't happen. Therefore, we need to eliminate all pornography from existence. And it's like, you know, it's like shouting. It's telling a tornado to stop spinning. It's just like, have you seen the internet? Do you have any idea on what scale? It's like the 10th great wonder of the world is the sheer volume of pornography.
I've never thought of it that way, but it kind of is.
It's like it's like, you know, they're going to be like, in history during this era, humans made more pornography in this span of time than.
Yeah, but what's my biggest beef is these kind of groups have tried for decades to come directly to game publishers, game makers, stores that would sell physical copies of games, and it was them they would go after. And the industry would often self-correct and go, well, we agree with you that maybe we need a little bit more information, so we're going to self-apply a rating system. And it's going to vary by region, but it's going to be roughly, kind of the same idea, which is this is for 14 and up. This is for 17 and up. This is adults only, so on and so forth. T for teen, all that stuff. What is happening now is that we have gotten so deep into everything is bought through payment services, credit cards online, the PayPals, the Cash Apps, the Venmos, everything else, that now the tactic is no longer feasible to go to EA and stop making violent video games, stop making games with a sex scene in it. Now it's to go to some of the in-betweeners, in this case, the payment processors, and going, you guys stop doing it, because guess what? People are buying smut through your... It's just like the same reason they do this with ISPs and other. I hate it. Skeevy for them to do that.
My big question is what happened? Because they sent a letter to all these things, and one imagines Collective Shout doing this all the time. So what happened this go around that the payment processors were like, oh shit, Australia, they got a point. This Australian organization has a point.
There's probably more going on that we don't know. Support from other places, other lobbying groups that have sort of joined forces. There are people probably... It's here in the States anyway, some very Puritan thinkers. By the way, everyone who says this shit...
They're not the only one. Collective Shout, National Center on Exploitation, U.S., Exodus Cry, U.S., Center to End All Exploitation, UK.
Dramatic names for these things. Here's my biggest beef with all of it. If they're going to do that stuff, and then the payment processors are going to bend the knee and do it, here's what I think they should do. And look, I don't buy porn games. You won't find any on my account. I don't care about them. But what I do think is that nobody should be able to tell you what you should buy or shouldn't buy. As long as it isn't breaking the law, you should be able to buy what you want to buy.
That's what the barrier of censorship is. It's called the law.
Yeah,
that's what should be there.
That's exactly
right. You
right.
have the Colonel Sanders, I want to bang Colonel Sanders game.
That game was a licensed thing, and it has no sex in it. It's just like a game, and it was free, if I remember.
You probably screwed up and didn't get to the sex.
Well, I didn't play it. I never played it. You didn't
install the mod pack that comes.
Did they make mods for that?
You didn't get the scene where he poured gravy on his chest and said, "Do you want original recipe or extra crispy?"
Do not ask me how I know this. I won't answer. But porn games on Steam generally will sell, especially the ones that want to sell more mainstream, will sell without the more graphical sex scenes available if you buy it on a place like itch.io.
Yeah.
And you usually can install a pack from somewhere, oftentimes the developer's site, to say, in order to list it on Steam and get favorable treatment, we didn't include the grody stuff, but here's
the grody stuff.
Here's a download to patch in the grody stuff, but not via Steam.
Great. Go after those guys.
So I think
Australia.
Probably Colonel Sanders has a sex scene, and you just didn't install it in bonus
You're
content.
probably right. But my point is, I had a greater point with that, which is, I'm not the target here, but even if I was or wasn't, I don't care. The slope is slippery. It's nearly a 90-degree angle in this case, and I don't like this one bit. The other thing I wanted to say about that was, if people are operating within the law, and that's different wherever you are in the world, so you live by wherever you live, and you got to live by those rules. My biggest beef here is if they're going to do all this, then we should be able to look at all of their hard drives. Because let me tell you something I've learned over my life. I have learned one thing.
Porn watchers.
Oh yeah, dude. People that are the loudest about this stuff are the worst about it. And I mean the worst. There are people who get up every week. I always use this example, but this mega church guy in Colorado, I think it was, thousands of people every week. He's up there pounding the pulpit. His two biggest things, anti-gay, anti-drugs. Guy gets caught in a motel with a gay prostitute and a bag of meth. And my point is, if you're going to be these people, then you got to be those people. At the very least, you have to be the people you're claiming to be, or else I have no time for you. Freaking F off, you hypocritical turd bags. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you talking about the payment processors? Because I believe it, but looking at this Collective Shout, I don't think they're porn enjoyers. I posted Alex Gorman. It's a lady, the Bachelor of Social Work degree. She doesn't strike me as...
I don't know. I have no idea, but that's my point. She doesn't
strike me as hard drive full of porn kind of person.
Yeah,
you never know.
Maybe not.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't ultimately matter. You kind of asked how are they getting this level of support and stuff, because on the surface it's very easy to go, well, hey, we just don't think child and women abuse should be in video games. And that seems like a very seemingly easy thing to go, oh, you're right. That sounds bad. Like, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And that's exactly what this turns into very quickly, because under the guise of we need to protect people, very quickly turns into now we get to decide what everybody interacts with.
Yeah.
So,
except like also, but it's not even the road to hell. This is noob normie road, because they're like, go after the payment processors, then we'll eliminate all porn. And it's like, they give away most of the porn for free. So, wow, he really curtailed things. And two, there's this thing called crypto that a lot of us don't want to use, that if you're just going to block our access to things and we want them, we'll get crypto wallets and just... Like, you've blocked nothing. You've effectively done nothing.
Well, the problem is that they have succeeded, though, because it did delist things, and that is the problem, including...
but those people will find other marketplaces to go. Like,
of course they will.
In the long run, they've solved nothing.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. But to John's point, it's roles. The problem to John's point, once you get these guys to do it, then, and I know people go, oh, don't go down the road, or we think, well, once they do that, then who's next? But that is literally what we're saying.
No, you are right about that. But like, these things are not always clean. This is one of those. This is where the conversation always gets demented, right? Because it's like, I believe in free speech, but hate speech is a crime in many free countries. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. And you just got to decide where you're going to adjudicate on these things. There's no objectively correct answer. And it's kind of the same in this case, where you're just like, we don't want sexual abuse material. We consider it this, whatever. I think the point is there's always a way around it. And once a way around it emerges, it becomes popular, and it's still, that's why, we're going to learn again that piracy exists, because as prices go up, the internet allows us to pirate things if we can't afford them. And I think in this case, they're going to hoist themselves on their own. They're going to solve nothing except pat themselves on the back, is what I'm trying to say. It's
another version of prohibition. Prohibition had its goal, had an intent. All it did was drive it underground. If that's what their goal is here, and it isn't, but if it was to drive it all underground, well, congratulations, you will start to do that. Will it affect me? No. Will it affect other people negatively? Probably. And will there be worse shit available because of the underground nature of how you get it now? Abso-freaking-lutely, it'll be worse.
They get to pat themselves on the back and feel good. Like, they don't. The fact that they've actually done any real results doesn't matter. It's just that they got the victory, and now they can feel good about themselves.
Well, and I would, maybe, I don't know for sure. So consider it somewhat conspiratorial, but they're making money. Like, this is their job. They're an organization. Like, this is also like it's
they're
not just about like,
yeah.
I mean, I've worked for nonprofits. They don't make money. I can tell. Like, I understand that people are employed and getting that, but no one's getting rich on it.
I knew a guy that worked ran a nonprofit. It turns out he was skimming. He got prosecuted for it and then shot himself in the back of his Buick. So it happens. People cheat the system all the time.
Yeah, but okay, so people can cheat the system, but we're not going to add...
Again, there's a reason I said tinfoil hat about it. Yeah. I don't believe it for a second, is what my answer is to that. And so, yeah, it could be growing pains, but you know who doesn't give a shit about it being growing pains? People that had to have their games pulled off. And that is their job. They are a for-profit. And, like... Yeah, you might look at some porn game and go like, well, I don't care that they aren't going to get to make porn games. But I did read that there were some people on itch that were getting flagged as porn games and getting pulled off simply because it contained LGBTQ content. Yeah. It wasn't actually a porn game. So it ends up becoming a form of censorship. It can be growing pains, but it actually impacts people in real time.
Yeah. I agree.
Satanic panic for sure. Yes, and it's affecting people's livelihoods. You're right. Like I definitely agree that it's stupid. But it's just. Yeah, I'm not really mad because like that there's an organization that's out there to protect the rights of people, because I'm like, no, this is a good thing, and because they're taking away my like video games or whatever, I'm like, I'm just not default. Well, this is the end of the world. Obviously, they're misguided and mistaken. I'm going, what the fuck's going on with the payment processors? Because like the whole point.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about that.
Actually illegal, which it isn't.
Yeah.
Why are they interfering at all? And I don't have an answer for that.
Omega 9 says Visa is only okay with two dudes kissing once a month per year. I don't know why that's funny to me.
I think that's like payment processors
it's
out of
pocket.
Because it's kind of true. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is Puritan politics come and go depending on who's in charge, who's pulling the strings, and where the money lies. That's really at the end. And that's also why they're targeting this, because where the money happens is where the change happens. So I don't know what 5 years from now looks like, but my guess is this too shall pass, but it shouldn't pass without people getting mad.
Well, it doesn't pass if people don't get mad. It's going to be
you have to get mad.
Spoilers for literally our next thing. Getting mad is part of the process. As much as it correcting itself one way or another is part of the process, people getting mad is also part of the process. And you can't hand wave and yada yada part of the process and still expect it to follow its course.
Totally agree.
So you need that discourse, even if you go, you know what? I'm Omega Brain. I can see the future. This will sort itself out. You still have to follow the steps. Just because you can see the horse doesn't mean you can skip all the middle bits and shading and details. You have to follow the formula to get to it.
Yeah, you got to do the horse. Damn it.
Careful though, because they will come after you if you do the horse.
Yeah, see, even that language, and this is my beef. It's like, okay, it's like people who scream and shout that teaching the Bible should be back in school. And my answer to that, I promise there's a parallel here, but my answer to that is always, well, which one? The one that the King James Version preferred by most Catholics, the actual Catholic Bible per se, or maybe the New World edition that some Baptist uses, or this highly edited one another group uses because they didn't like a certain section. Which one do you want taught? And then everyone always forgets that. It isn't you've got main character syndrome, everybody. Everybody thinks you've got the right idea, but there's a whole lot of people that all think they have the right idea. Which one are you talking about? That's why it never works and you can never do it. And I don't think this works either. This is a puritanical attack on a medium that won't end here with this medium. My guess is this would start to apply to, well, I don't think I like that Netflix has a movie with boobies in it or whatever. That's just a small example. But those involve payment processors too. Does Visa one day stand up and go, I'm sorry, but HBO Max, they got a whole documentary about the gays. We can't have that with our payment processor. Freaking F off. So if you get loud enough about it, mad enough about it, like John was saying, you can make a difference, like this next story.
Yeah, and hey, what a transition.
This is a good transition because Microsoft has walked back their $80 pricing announcement for Outer Worlds 2 and other titles. It will now be $70.
Actually, I heard right now Outer Worlds 2 is the only one confirmed.
Oh,
did that change? Because everything I read said they have not spoken about the general consensus that their price was going to increase.
There was some bit, may not be this article, crap. I read something that talked about keeping games in current market conditions.
I went looking for it because I immediately said,
there it is right there.
Are they adopting this across the board or are they adopting it for this one game? And at least as of the time I had looked into it, they had only committed to Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
And in general, Microsoft is still potentially going to be releasing titles at $80. So right now, they haven't walked it back too much, but they are walking it back for Outer Worlds 2, which I completely agree. I think $80 was too much. And Scott loves that game.
I do love that game.
You said that was too much.
Yeah, it is.
So I I think this is good. This is another case. We had a lot of discussion this past week about what video games should cost. And it's funny because it's a very subjective discussion, because a lot of people take more into this conversation than they need to. A lot of people come to it and all of a sudden they put their little science glasses on and they're like, well, let me tell you about inflation. And let me tell you about the markets and demand and all of these things. Guess what? I'm going to blow your mind. You don't need that. And you don't need to care, and it doesn't need to be your problem. What do you think? Not developers, not publishers, not the government, not inflation. What do you think video games should cost? Yeah. And that's the number you think. Yeah. You don't need to take those other things into account. If you want to, go ahead. But that's the number. And my answer, and I put it in Discord, and some people got upset about it. I said, I think video games should be $60. Yeah. I have gotten okay with paying $70, but $60 is what I think it should be.
But you've also very selective about what that 70 one is, right? Like, you're not just going to willy-nilly, well, new games are 70. Hey, I don't know much about that one. I'll pay 70 for it. You're still going to be picky.
I think for me, when I see a $70 game, it doesn't cause me a moment of like, what? Yeah. Anymore. Like it used to. I used to be like, why is it so much? Yeah. I see in chat, $50. Yep.
Well, let's take a look at the poll. We got poll results.
I think, yeah, you did a poll on what it should be. I don't think there's anything wrong with just saying the number that you're like, this is what I feel a new AAA game should be. And guess what? If that number is low, you're not right or wrong. There isn't a right or wrong in this. No, that's what you think it should be.
It's what you think it should be. You're absolutely right. Like, I actually think people get way too solidified in what they think it is, and it should be a universal thought, when really it's almost a philosophical question, that how are you supposed to answer that? Everyone answers it differently. But right now, according to hundreds and hundreds of you who voted, thanks for that, by the way, $59 seems to be the happy place. This is the biggest piece of the pie here. The actual percentage is 42.25% of you say $59. And, generally the poll is assuming like, hey, a big AAA title coming from a big studio or a console maker or a big PC release or whatever. 59 is where a lot of you are very happy with that number. 69 is next with 30.57% of you saying that $69.99 is the next price you'll pay. That's what Donkey Kong Bonanza costs. Funny enough, because that game's amazing, and I don't know why they didn't do 80 for it. It's really weird. Anyway, and then 49 was in a fairly distant third, almost half of that, 16.56% of the votes went to that. And then we have 39 and 79. 79 is way down there, by the way, like 3% of the votes. And I have a feeling, I'm not saying this is a perfect poll, that this should be counted as some sort of scientific result, or that we practice perfect polling standards or anything like that. But I do think this probably mirrors the averages, if I had to guess.
One thing that often gets left out of that conversation is what is the value of the game? What should they be charging? But also, I think we're still in a time of there's so much selection. So if you have everyone has a finite amount they're probably going to spend on their leisure, at least in different categories, depending on how many things you have. So the cheaper games are, the more I can buy. So if I'm in a marketplace where I can buy one game for 80, or I can buy 4 experiences for 20 each, I'll probably, unless there's something about that $80 game that I can't get out of buying the $20 games, which can happen, why would I not buy the $20 games? Why would I not wait for them to go down in price so that my dollars go farther? And I think that's also a very real consideration in determining market value. So it isn't just like, they haven't gone up with inflation. They have an inherent value. It's supposed to go up. You're also like ignoring this other part of the marketplace, which is just like, oh, I can buy the new Indiana Jones game, but what if I bought $8-10 games? Yeah, and I did it piecemeal and felt better about my expenditures. I can tell my partner, like, oh, I didn't spend $80 this week. I just spent $10, and this is a fun little game, and we can go out to dinner or something. It's the marketplace is such that like it's not like this is all we got, $80 games. Like here you go, you pay the money or get out.
Yeah.
There's a 5-year-old game I probably haven't played, and it's probably $10. I think I saw one even on sale where I was like, oh shit, this is. I think Darktide was $10 or $20 or something like that. 3-year-old game, still fun to play. If you didn't check it out and you wanted to play it, you can play it for much less of the price.
The poll comments were a lot like that. They were saying things
Outer Worlds
like that, but also like things like, "Hey, I wait a year, and then that same game that they wanted $80 for, I will pay $38 for."
Especially with the state of AAA right now. Like a AAA release is certainly not a measurement of quality these days. So you ignore some of those big AAA games, and if you're willing to wait, sometimes even just a couple months, you might be paying half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Outer Worlds, that's what I know. I haven't played it. Heard it was good. I think I maybe checked it out on Xbox for like 5 minutes or something like that when I had Game Pass. $10.
Yeah, it's cheap.
I almost pulled the trigger. I was like, oh, I could spend $80 on something. But here's a full-ass RPG game for $10.
And that's a deal.
I'll put the $80 away.
Yeah.
And even the $60. You will not successfully convince me to spend $60, and I'll just spend $10 and still get something that had a value of $60 at one point and is just, there's no reason for it. And like that's happening all over the place. Epic gives away games for free. Like you can, in theory, just play games for free.
Or for that matter, you just get Game Pass, which you could make some kind of conspiratorial comments, not you, but people that I might as well. That that some of this pullback was backlash. Some of it is some other factors. A little bit of it might be them going, we don't want to sully this by saying it's $80 or else get Game Pass, and then it looks like we're holding people hostage a little bit.
Game Pass. If it's on Game Pass, that's money I'm not spending again.
Well, that's my point.
$80.
That's my point. Is like they also want their other channels like Steam and other stores. They want those to perform well. Will they perform well under the guise that it's like, well, you could go pay $80 anywhere you want, or come over here and do a little bit of the old Game Pass day one. Like I feel like maybe they were in that territory a little bit. I don't know what these meetings are like. I don't know what Phil's.
You want your your cake and eat it too. Like, can you not buy more games and just have Game Pass, please? And it's like, man, you guys sit down.
Yeah.
I just sort of feel like in general, people are fine, and people are more than capable of looking at video games and assigning a value to it and knowing, and especially right now, like I said, AAA isn't a mark of quality these days.
Not like it used to be.
So I think it's very easy to look at games and go, no, not worth it. I was thinking about this because I look at a game like Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
I have 138 hours in Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
That's an insane amount of time. Yeah. That is more than a lot of video games that I spent hours? Significantly more. 138.
Yeah.
For this move a little dude around and pick up stuff video game.
Yeah.
The base game right now is $5.
Yeah.
So and I probably paid less for it at the time, and now I have bought DLC that's come out for it and stuff like that. But essentially, for $5, I bought a game that I've gotten more playtime out of than some $70 games that have come out. But if you went and took Vampire Survivors and you said, yeah, $60. There is no way I would buy that video game.
Not even
You know
close.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But I'm getting more enjoyment and spending more time with it. So shouldn't it have an inherently better value than these other things? The answer is no. Like, we all have some metric that we judge our products by. And I think the reason you're seeing so much, or I guess hearing, vocal pushback on $80 games is because I think most of us look at $80 video games and go, they're not worth it. Half the time they come out broken. Half the time they come out unfinished. Half the time they're not very good. So why am I paying more for less? It isn't worth this. Stop putting this out. And you look at something like Outer Worlds 2 and you go, you know what? The Outer Worlds was a pretty fun video game. I don't think the sequel is worth paying more money for than what the original was. I'm not interested in it. Yeah. So I think that, again, you have to do the process. People get vocal about it. And for people that are like, $80 is what it should be because inflation and da-da-da-da-da, they're going to get frustrated. But we have to get mad. We have to get upset about it. Because if we don't, it doesn't drop down to $70 like it did. And honestly, I think it should be $60. But that's just me. So I think we have to go through this process to get there, and it's good that Microsoft walked it back. You can walk it back another little bit, but I'm happy to see progress being made on that front. I do wish Microsoft would come out, especially considering Phil Spencer said he didn't want to raise prices on video games and say, you know what, we think video games are better at $70 and lock it in instead of just one video game. Be brave, Phil. You're brave enough to lay off a bunch of people. Maybe be a little brave to announce a price point that you actually stand by.
Zing.
Have a little standard that you actually uphold. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Let me add to that by saying, you know, the God game, Black and White. Remember this thing where you?
Oh, I love Black and White.
Yeah, I did too. You could be an ape or a big sheep.
We got this notion that we like to sail the ocean, so we're building a big boat, but we ran out of wood.
So you're a very big fan. You remember the songs.
The song. They sang a little song.
Yeah, you remember the songs even. So the reason I'm bringing that up is in God games, the genre, one of the things you would do sometimes is just experiment. You would hover way up in the sky, being the god that you are, and you would suddenly just go, what if I dropped a boulder into the village? What would happen? And then you kind of see what happens. And a bunch of people run and scream. They lose faith in you because they know you did it, or they gain faith in you because they think some other entity did it, and so you're there to save them, or let's see. Oh, no, you know what? They built a wall around it now, so you can never do that again. You do that to see what happens. I think Microsoft's playing a God game right now. This is how these boardroom bullshit happens. They sit in there and go, well, let's try the 80, see what happens there. And then they watch Matrix. And some of the Matrix, really obvious ones, are pre-orders suck. Oh, shit. Well, that's a reaction we weren't sure about. But because of that, I think if we roll it to 70, so that they drop another boulder into the village and it changes people a little bit and they see pre-orders go up. And I think that's how they play this game. That's the game they're playing. We're playing their games, but the game they're playing is a God game, and they dick with us to see what we're going to do.
It's true. But again, it goes back to that, why have the discourse? If they're going to figure it out, why have the discourse? Well, for the exact reason of in a God game, if you do something and the villagers don't react to it, you're going to keep doing it.
Yep.
At a certain point, you do have to play your role as consumer and go, I don't like this, and I'm going to be loud about it.
Yep.
Best if you can boycott it. At the very least, be loud about it.
Yeah, be loud about it. Not a problem. By the way, remember this big tiger guy? He pissed me off. I didn't like him. Anyway.
And I do see a comment in chat. I'm going to call it out specifically. Nat Murphy saying, I don't think Phil has any say in the pricing. Then he shouldn't be out there saying what the pricing's going to be.
Well,
because he's the one who said that could be true, but he's also the person that in an interview said, we're not interested in going to $80. So if he can't control that, then he shouldn't talk about it.
Also, we don't know any of this, first of all, but to say that Phil Spencer, a highly paid executive at Microsoft, he makes a lot of money to be the head of Microsoft's gaming division. If you're telling me he's not doing anything but getting up in front of cameras and going, gamers, we heard you, but everything's being fed to him and he has no say. He's not. It doesn't work that way. I don't think it works that way.
No, he's got a job as CEO. I mean, he probably has.
Does he get paid too much to do what he does? Maybe, but I think he does more than just go, I'm just going to be fish until you guys tell me what I'm getting up and telling people.
What T-shirt am I wearing out on stage today?
You guys got a Hexen shirt? I did like that game when
I mean, he's probably not doing any manual labor-y tasks or anything like that.
No, right? It's all boardroom
probably all decisions and leadership, but it's leadership, and, that's...
Yeah, for good or ill.
Well, I mean, you can do leadership badly, or you can be good at leadership for a while and...
sure.
and mess up. So that seems that I think that's what the critique is. Doesn't matter who's making the decisions. It's like he's the leader.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be cynical and say there's a guy behind the guy. Doesn't change anything. If the leader's not if your leader says something and does something different, they're going to revolt.
Yeah. And apologies to the chat who pointed out that the tiger I showed on screen was actually a lion. I apologize.
Well,
just for clarity,
we all struggle with, what is a lion? What is a cheetah?
Sure. What are these things? What are these cats? They're big cats. We know that. That's all we know. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for helping out with this poll. I had one guy say $420.69. He says, obviously, because he got both a 420 in there and a 69 in there, which is nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, thank you for that, guys. Let's move on to another story. Splitgate 2. Remember that guy with the hat? Remember that whole deal?
Yeah.
Make FPS is great again. That guy just turned me off immediately the second I saw him. Anyway, they are unlaunching the game. They are laying off staff. That's the words. I mean, basically putting it back into beta, but it's essentially unlaunching it.
What? But
yeah. And they're taking down the game's servers next month. The original game.
The original game.
Splitgate 1, right?
Splitgate 1 is going offline next month.
Right.
But there's no Splitgate for people while they're waiting for 2?
Unless you're
I think they're going to be doing some sort of beta. Yeah. I think there can be
okay, well, that's good. As long as there's something to play. Like, it just seems like that's bad for...
Get like an unlaunch key or something like that.
Everything offline, even the first one.
It's pretty weird, but also... Look, I don't want to be cynical.
So stop killing games. Why is Splitgate 1 going away?
I don't want to be cynical about this, but I'm going to be cynical about this. If your best effort... I sound like the cooking mama lady. You did your best effort. If your best effort is to send that dude out there with that effing hat and that big plastic gun and to say the stupid shit that you said about competition, ripping on games, very successful properties like Halo and beyond, if you're going to do all of that, you better be able to have something people want to play and that sticks. If you're going to talk that kind of trash, you better have what it takes to have it up and do it. Elsewise, huge mistake, company. What were you doing? Wrong guy to do it. And the minute I heard about this, I went, Splitgate 2, they're pulling it? Wait, is that guy with a hat? I mean, that was just immediately the first thing came to my head was the guy with the damn stupid hat. So anyway.
I think the hat, if the hat was just there and wasn't commented on further, probably would have been fine. Like, you're like, oh, it's a bit cringe, but whatever, I get it. They're, the guy likes FPSs, so he made a fan, it isn't the biggest crime in the world. I guess it's in the context of whatever the presentation was.
Yeah. It also sounds
like it's going up in the hat. Some of the things he said are 100% true. Some of the things he said, I completely agree with. I could do with a little less Call of Duty filler trash every single year. Sorry, Shanna fan. But I do have fond memories of playing Halo 2. I agreed with a lot of things he said. He had a meme hat. That's not a crime. That's fine too.
Yeah.
But he went up there and preached about how they were going to be the saviors of first-person shooters and how edgy they are. And then they showed a trailer to Imagine Dragons. And then they put out a game that had insanely overpriced cosmetics in it.
Imagine Dragons, I will have you know, is like the League of Legends band. Like, have played live at the esports finals, was on their show.
It fits
no
there.
Shade. I'm not doing Imagine Shade. It's just it's not like you didn't pick you didn't pick an FPS musical act. You picked like they're traders, like they're doing MOBA stuff.
It's not Imagine Dragons' fault. It's not. It's that
I'm not trying to throw shade at Imagine Dragons. I was driving in the car and an Imagine Dragons song came up. And I turned the radio up.
Oh.
I do actually enjoy some Imagine Dragons songs. But I also am self-aware enough to know that you can't talk about how punk rock and edgy you are and then play a trailer to an Imagine Dragons song. I know enough to know that.
Yeah, I know that too.
I mean, everyone knows that. You're supposed to play Nine Inch Nails or something like that's where, like if the music you associate with hardcore shooters is for better or for worse, going to be like a metal, like, or something. Like, you're not going to get up there and be like, we're going to make FPS is great, and then play some Moby. You know what I mean?
No.
Or like Jamiroquai.
No.
Like, then you're like, the ketamine, when the ketamine hits.
We're bringing hardcore back to shooters. Then Enya plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what?
It's weird because they got away with the song Radioactive for the PlayStation 4 announcement because that sounds like a corporation song to use. Like, that seems right for that. This was the wrong
Imagine
thing.
Dragons is corporate cool.
Yeah, yes.
If a corporation is like, hey guys, Imagine Dragons, you're like, that is exactly how cool I think this is.
Yep.
But if somebody is a developer and they're going, we're edgy, we're bringing it back to the way it was, then it isn't Imagine Dragons.
No,
and
I don't know. Maybe Imagine Dragons is cheap for the licensing deals that you have to get to even do this. I don't know.
I bet not. I bet they paid a pretty penny, and that's why they made a big deal out of it.
Well,
like, we got to,
and by all accounts, the game isn't all that bad. It's just they weren't doing well out of the gate. Gate.
Well, so this is the other thing. Splitgate, pretty novel idea. I think it was pretty cool. I know when I tried it. I don't know if this is like they're huffing their own farts a little too much. Not exactly a hollowed shooter franchise. Like, when you come out, you're like, let's make FPS great again. I'm like, oh shit, they're rebooting Wolfenstein for the 50th time, or Halo's coming back. Like, what's the Splitgate?
Mm-hmm.
You made one game, and it was a neat idea that was kind of like semi-successful. Okay.
Yeah, it carved out its own little niche. It had players. It had a following. People liked it.
Yeah. It has
more than a lot of video games.
But you just took Portal and mixed it with Quake. Like, I mean, you did what every gaming company not every gaming company, what a lot of gaming companies have done and do keyword soup, which is not, you're not going to win a lot of accolades for coming up with that. I'm sorry, but that's not like an original idea. We're like, shit, I've never really played a game like this. Like, when you play, I just saw one on Steam. It's a roguelike deck builder, but it's basketball. And it's like, I know what you're doing. You're just trying to find an open area of the market where people that play card games and like basketball will give you money. Like, innovative, kinda. But, like, I'm not going to hate on people and their creative endeavors and their attempts for products, but we know what you did. You took the basketball keyword and you took the roguelike deck builder keyword and hoped there was an open spot in the market for you to make some sales. Like, this is literally every game for the past 10 years on Steam.
Yeah.
So you are not, that's what Splitgate is. They're like, people like Portal and they like shooters. What if we had a Portal shooter? And they pulled it off and made an interesting game. But you're not in those hollowed halls of gaming franchises.
And then the problem is they tried to Overwatch 2 it. They went, oh, well, what if we abandon this thing that's doing okay to relaunch essentially the same thing, but different, so that we can profit off it differently and hopefully make more money and go bigger. And, a lot of people are losing their job. Probably because of a guy who misread the room and some bad business decisions. And that is the way it happens more often than not. It's still sad. I'm not going to laugh because this guy got some karma, because he's probably going to be doing a lot better than some of the other people.
Oh, he'll be fine. He's like a co-founder or whatever he is. So, yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's the way that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Before we move on to the next story, because I was on PC Gamer looking at some of the early thoughts on Splitgate, I was reminded of something Gabe Newell said in this interview that's been going around with him, where he's like, I'm in my fishing boat all the time. I'm basically retired, but I still love working.
Oh, yeah, where he wakes up, scuba dives, or snorkels. Is it snorkeling or scuba
snorkeling,
diving?
I think.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Yeah, whichever one's the lamer one, right? Isn't snorkeling?
I just love this quote, though. Listen to this quote. The young Gabe Newell thought he'd be a doctor until he ended up visiting his brother at Microsoft, where Steve Ballmer got mad and said, quote, if you're going to be here hanging out, why don't you do something useful? He ended up getting a job there, and then the rest is history. But, yeah, I think that's pretty funny.
I remember playing through, because I loved Half-Life 2 to such a degree that I actually played through that game with commentary, because I don't know if you guys remember that Half-Life 2 has commentary for the game.
I remember.
And for the longest time, he would always give his email during the commentary, where he'd be like, yeah, if you got any questions, reach out to me at Gaben at Valve or whatever it is. And I thought for the longest time his username was Gay Ben. And I thought his name was Ben. And I thought he was just owning it.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I was like, man, look at him out there making video games and being proud of who he is. And then when I found out his name was Gabe, I was like,
man, what a brave man that Gabe Ben.
Gay Ben doesn't exist. He's just a character I made up.
Yeah, he's been in your head the whole time, and that's the only place he's been. All right, well, moving on. Hey, a Donkey Kong fan painted their Bonanza cartridge yellow, and it killed their Switch too.
What?
Yeah, this is a short story, but it made me a little sad, and I had to bring it up. This poor guy. So he did this. He had this idea that because it's Bonanza, it's bananas.
There's been a tradition of yellow cartridges for Donkey Kong.
Correct. And he wanted to carry on the tradition. He's a TikTok dude. His name's Gardner. I don't have a problem with what he wanted to do. I think I wouldn't have done it though. I think I would have thought further.
You can't be the first person to paint a cartridge either.
Oh yeah, it seems unlikely, right? Here he is. Here he is actually doing it. Let's see if I got a clip of it somewhere. Oh come on, internet. This isn't going my way right now. Here we go.
What's going on?
Did he do this for virality?
It's entirely possible. I mean, it looked good when he did it. He claimed it got stuck and ended up killing the Switch. It's done. I mean, maybe in the end it did give him virality. So maybe, mission accomplished by accident. I don't know. But yeah, he didn't like that it was red. So the ketchup didn't work. He needed mustard.
I'll say this. I started watching the video and he put all those Donkey Kong cartridges next to each other. And I went, yeah, it shouldn't have been red.
Yep. How hard would it have been, that one run of cartridges? I mean, I don't know what their workflow's like, but I don't think this should have been that big a deal. This should have been yellow.
Can't afford yellow anymore.
Money's too tight for yellow these days.
It's crazy how small those games are. Look at that.
Maybe if they would have been able to charge $90, then they would have been able to do it.
Maybe. I mean, they charge this one. See, that's the other weird thing. This is easily one of the best Nintendo games. We'll get to it later, but I think it's one of the best Nintendo games ever made. And they didn't charge their controversial 80 for it. They were just straight up
was it?
Here it is, $70. Buy it. Or 63 if you go to Costco.
He was using so much care and thought up to the spray paint point, and then he was just it's just flying all over the place.
I mean, he masked it. I don't think he did that good of a job, as you can see. It's a little gooey. But
and I feel like he put it together and then just slapped it in.
I mean, I don't know if he let it sit in there and dry a little longer, cure the paint. But that does look cool, right? It's yellow. It looks right. And then here he goes. This is when he first puts it in. Oh, shit. This is it, dude. You just killed your $500
about
purchase.
That moment, he realized.
So the whole console got bricked?
Yeah.
Maybe Nintendo realized he modded.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the paint. Maybe Nintendo was he modded the system.
Yeah, but he basically got hosed. So even if it was a stunt, what a waste of money. If it wasn't a stunt, then things happen in life when you're being stupid. Moving on. John, turns out putting Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering together made a lot of money for a whole lot of people. It was a smart thing. Yeah.
There's not a lot more to say about this, but that we've talked a lot about Magic. I have. It certainly brought me into the fold and put me down a rabbit hole. But yeah, I guess the Final Fantasy addition to Magic made $200 million in revenue in just one day.
That's more. It took. What was the comparison? Lord of the Rings took him how long? Let's see, half a year to reach that level.
So everyone who contributed to this $200 million pile can't complain about the price of video games or consoles, right?
I guess not. I don't know if they're the same people.
No, because they're different things.
They're also different people. Not always. John's
No,
obviously a
it's
crossover.
literally
I
the
think we're
same
looking at
person.
one.
No, I know.
Yeah,
no.
it's literally the same person.
But you're
It's a different thing.
You're an outlier, though. I really think that. I don't think there's a lot of Magic, really hardcore Magic people that are also hardcore video gamers.
So here's the thing, Scott, is I don't think it's hardcore Magic people that contributed to this money pile. They're notoriously cheap.
Actually,
these are visitors.
That is a good point. These are Final Fantasy coming in. Yeah.
This money did not come from the Magic player base who traditionally hates IPs outside of Magic IPs, all of a sudden changing their personalities overnight and spending a bunch of money.
Yeah, you're right.
If you ask longtime Magic players, they hate brand crossover and corporatization of their hobby.
Yeah. I take that all back. Actually, I think you're right. I think that these are Final Fantasy fans coming in like John, getting his feet wet, getting a taste for it really for the first time because his fandom went over there. Right?
Yeah, so really what I have to say now at this point is, hey, Magic the Gathering fans, you're welcome. I'm glad we could stop by and make your stupid hobby a little bit better for a short period of time. I hope you enjoy the extra windfall of money before you go back to reading about a bunch of nobodies that don't matter. And I hope your cards look better in the future, too. Maybe one day they can afford to redo the janky-ass background to the back of all your stupid cards.
We look forward to you visiting again and helping our hobby and when Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah.
They already showed some cards and they look pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're not done. There's no way they're done with Final Fantasy. There's no way after this.
I do think it's funny that they're going Final Fantasy to Spider-Man. Like, I swear to God, if the next one was Star Wars, I was like, this is the Truman Show.
It's Avatar.
Why are they targeting
Avatar.
me?
Yeah. Avatar comes out after Spider-Man.
Avatar The Last Airbender or Avatar Blue People?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
Avatar Blue People. James Cameron's favorite
Cameron's
Blue
Avatar.
People sequel.
No, not Impossibilium or whatever that metal's called.
Adamtanium. I like Impossibilium. That's pretty good.
That's when they discover a newer, better metal.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Actually, they previewed just one card, and it actually looks sick from Avatar. I was like, Avatar, I don't even give a shit about Avatar. And I was like, oh, who's this guitar? It's a pretty badass piece of art. It looks awesome.
Yeah. Obviously, they're not done doing crossovers, but it just feels like that much money in a day from one IP. I don't think they're done with Final Fantasy. They're going to milk that.
No, we're going to have, I'm sure at some point next year, the year after, we'll do like a revisit, probably, because I think my prediction is Spider-Man and Avatar will do well, but they won't sell nearly as well as Final Fantasy. Yeah. This is an outlet that Final Fantasy as a franchise is needed for like a billion years. Like the definition of edging. Remember we taught you what edging means?
Yeah, I learned that right here on this show.
Like there are card games in Final Fantasy games. These are card game players. They're used to playing card games. Triple Triad and
the
Queen's
others
Blood.
that don't matter. Oh wait, no, Queen's Blood is good.
It doesn't matter. They're used to their mini games. And
I take it back. Queen's Blood's awesome. I don't want to say anything bad about it.
And I know they've had like collectibles before, but like Magic is perceived. If you don't play Magic, you're just like, oh, this is a premier trading card game where cards actually hold value, and people are really like, you have ideas about what the Magic community is like. People who play. And so you take the two together, and I think this is what happened. I think this is a blip for sure. I do not think Spider-Man's going to sell this well.
Well,
no, I'm not going to buy. Well, I am tempted.
You're going to get some. You're totally
even though I absolutely jokingly, I hope you all know that, trashed Magic the Gathering. I have played the game now, and I had a lot of fun.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
And I do like Spider-Man, but the problem is like it's so much fun to boot up Arena and play in Arena, and the fact that you won't be able to do that with Spider-Man is a big detriment to that set for me.
It's already a setback, but I think the thing is, I don't know if it'll happen with Spider-Man, but at a certain point, you start to get smart with your Magic expenditures when you realize how much you're spending. And so because there's a lot of new people to the hobby, they're going to buy a bunch of product. But like I said, this was my journey, and it's a journey a lot of people I know play Magic. They get into buying the sets for a while and getting the cards, and they realize I don't actually use that many of them.
Yeah.
So, I'll play limited because draft is it's small. Spend $20 to $30, get into a draft, play for a night, keep the cards, might even give the cards away. And if I'm playing Commander, you can just go to the secondary market and buy the cards you want. So if you're really into Spider-Man, but you just want Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, whoever that one, white
That's the same
pink.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're just like, I just want that card, you can just buy that card without spending $300 and just spend $10, get the cards you want, and you're good. Especially in Commander, where you only need singletons. You can't put 4 copies in a Commander deck. So it ends up being pretty forgiving on the pocketbook, and so you can get.
It's true. More than anything, I wanted a Emmett Selk card, and I didn't get it through 3 of those booster boxes.
So you've now learned your lesson where you're like, I just want this one card. I can spend $500 on boosters and not get the thing I want, or just
let me see how much an Emmett Selk card goes for.
Yeah,
Emmett
check prices.
Selk
I like this
MTG card.
While you're doing that, a big shout out to Shatterproof.
It's $12.74 for the art one that I like. For the alternate art one.
That doesn't sound too bad, John. Think of what you've saved on Outer Worlds 2.
I don't have to buy another $200
Outer Worlds 2 saved you $10. Now you can spend it on this.
Now I can buy my sweet Emmett Selk card.
Yeah, Shatterproof sent me a starter box that's like yours, Beau. The one you showed. Foundation or Founders.
Because I have just so much clutter, but I think it's like up here somewhere.
Yeah, he sent me a box.
Standard one's even cheaper.
I'm gonna play it. We're gonna try that.
Yeah, the Foundations box. What's nice about it is it's like it's basic cards, so everything's not too complicated. It sort of eases you into the game.
Yeah, that'll be good because I'll probably play with my daughter or something. And I don't want
the current set coming out next week is awesome. It's not an IP that's like licensed. It's called Edge of Eternities. It's like 60s space opera stuff. Like it's all just like spaceships.
You mentioned that last week. It's interesting,
and like weird races and robots. And it's pretty dope, actually. So that's coming out next week.
Edge of Eternities. There it is.
Yeah, it's got some sick art.
Yeah, this is available. Let's see. Well, there's already boosters. I guess they do all.
It's coming out next week, but if you go to the site, like there's some spoilers where they preview some cards and stuff. Oh, don't go to Amazon.
Well, I won't buy it there, but I'm just looking.
No, I just mean just to look at the art. Like if you go to the Wizards site, they feature the art a lot nicer.
Yeah, give me a link and I'll do that. Well, anyway, I'll play that starter kit Shatterproof sent. I'll let you guys know what I think. And I don't feel compelled to go out and buy a bunch of cards, though. I'm not having that problem.
Let me say, like I said, that's why instead of buying a booster box, I bought my Slay the Spire board game. And it's just, I'm not trying to make John feel bad about his Magic cards. It's good. It's fun to have a collection.
I like my Magic cards. I'm not going to ever feel bad about it.
No,
I'm glad I did it.
You shouldn't.
It's just the way, I'm just mean in the way that I'm talking, like I'm saying something negative. It's just, you get to a certain point where you're like, well, this is cool, and this is cool, and this is cool, and this is cool. And next thing you know, every year you're pounding down $5,000 in Magic expenditures. Yeah. And it's when you have a giant column of cardboard that weighs literally 2,000 pounds, and you're like, why do I have this like monument to paper that I don't touch 99% of because I only like 1% of what's in here, that you start to like reevaluate. That's kind of why I got out of the hobby, at least from a paper perspective. I don't think that's a danger for John because he has many interests, and I don't think you're going to buy every set that comes out. I'm just saying.
No, I don't.
If there's a new Final Fantasy set, you might buy just like a little bit of boosters and then just get the cards you want on the secondary market.
Well, I also really liked that this is a little more uniquely me. I also really liked doing those videos. So those streams and those videos was fun, but that's obviously not what your average person is going to do with them.
This is your journey, and it's pretty normal, and it's fine. I did like that's how when I got into Lorwyn, I was like, I just want more cards. I bought a whole bunch of cards, and then I was like, these cards are cool. I'm gonna buy another box. I'm gonna buy more, and I don't care. I'm just happy with them.
Yeah,
so it's
normal.
You just get to a point where you know it hits you in the finance side. If you're not made of money, if you're made of money, you probably just get to buy them forever, and who cares? But
John, would you get the Kiss? Would you get the Kiss Kiss Bang Bang set if they made one?
Why would they do that?
They won't.
Get a sweet Gay Perry card.
Yeah, dude, Gay Perry. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the fear from people who are into Magic and hate these universes beyond things. That's the fear. Is like, yeah, they're going to do something cool, but eventually it will be Gay Perry in my Magic cards.
They're gonna Call of Duty or Fortnite that thing down to the ground. That's what they're worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already got it. The little quote down at the bottom. Do you know what you see if you look up idiot in the dictionary? A picture of my face? No, the definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are. That's one of my favorite quotes from that movie. That movie's great.
I did finally watch it.
Nice Guys.
Yeah, I finally watched it. It was good. I'd seen Nice Guys before, but I hadn't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. But I liked it a lot. It was great. I think we talked about it here, if I remember right.
Yeah. I think that was one of the ones we did when we were doing movie reviews before the show.
I think they have. By the way, they have done a Fortnite Magic set. It just hasn't been standard legal.
Oh, there really is a Fortnite Magic set.
Yeah. We were joking about that, and I forgot. No, they actually they did a secret layer with Fortnite. Here is the link to it. I'll send it to you. So, again, it's just for collectors, not legal in any formats.
Okay.
As far as I know, unless they're like functional reprints of something that's legal, but you can see it's like 9 cards, I think, or 8 cards. Like it's.
Oh, okay. But do they functionally? Don't they just behave like some other card that's just got a different name?
So if they have a little name, like there's a spell here called a sorcery called Shrinking Storm, and if you look underneath, it says Wrath of God. So this is basically a functional reprint of the card Wrath of God with a Fortnite.
This one right here. Yeah.
Skin over it. So you could technically play this anywhere Wrath of God is legal. You'll see it right under where it says Shrinking Storm.
But everyone around the table will roll their eyes and give you the bird. That's what'll happen.
Some people
there's a lot of
like, oh, that's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff with that, like in Final Fantasy too. Like as I was making, because you can do crafting in their arena. And I was crafting cards that I just thought looked cool. Not that I wanted to use, but like literally some of the cards that you can craft from the Worlds Beyond set, it'll pop up and say, hey, this is about to be an illegal card to use in like a couple months or something like that. Are you sure you want to make it? Because it's a basically different version of a card that existed that's about to fall out of rotation for being legal. So... I took it because I was like, I like the card. The art's nice. But the game literally jumps in and is like, hey, you're not going to be able to use this card soon.
For certain formats, for standard, but like there are formats where it's still usable. By the way, they also have Transformers. You should click the link if you want to see cool.
Oh, shit. You're poking John where he lives.
Now, see, that's one where I would just buy one card.
I would secondary market.
I would just buy a Shockwave card if it exists, and I would have Shockwave.
Oh, there's no Shockwave actually, as far as I know.
Shockwave. Here's the best part about liking Shockwave best. He gets overlooked a lot, and like he's popular enough to where you can have cool stuff. But he's overlooked enough to where you don't have to buy everything. Like if you're an Optimus Prime fan, congratulations. You're buying every Transformer thing that comes out for the rest of your life. Shockwave fans, we eat well enough.
Yeah, you do all right, but Soundwave sure takes the stage a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, is like he gets mixed up with Soundwave. Soundwave is clearly the more popular. Problem is like once you get past Shockwave, all of a sudden, like then the ones I like are very popular because I like Shockwave, then I like Starscream. Starscream's everything.
What I like about these Soundwave cards and the tokens Ravage and Laserbeak is that there's a basketball court sub theme going on with all of them.
I don't know why that is.
Why is that? What's going on? I don't know
what it's like. Soundwaves in a destroyed basketball court and Ravage and Laserbeak, like they both have basketball hoops in them for some reason on their tokens.
I don't even like even so the one weird. With Soundwave standing there's got a standard behind him. What the heck,
I don't
man?
remember it. I don't remember it. Like I think this is original art by the artist mentioned. And by the way, this proves again that you can totally do G1 style stuff with modern products because this is literally new art by the artist.
Did it sell well? Did it do okay?
I don't know. I think all the collector stuff does decently, but like again, it's not. It's just for collectors. So I don't know if you can buy them. Check TCG Player.
Wow. But, that's wild. All right. Well, sad news.
See how much?
While you look that up, the father of Elder Scrolls, Julian the Fay, passed away.
I'm not laughing.
I love that Beau laughed right that second.
I was like, hilarious.
Hilarious. That guy died.
No. I'm laughing at Optimus. The Optimus Prime from that collector's pack apparently is worth $2.
Nice.
Oh no, I don't like that. That makes me sad a little bit.
Well,
But John, yeah, it's just another $2 for you. That's all. You can just grab it.
I don't need it. I just need a Shockwave card.
Okay.
They don't make it, so I'm fine.
Roll out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Julian the Fay died. Sad because he was the guy. He was the man. There is no Elder Scrolls without him. And in fact, he was busy working on a spiritual successor to 1 and 2, Arena and Daggerfall. They were obviously not setting that IP because he doesn't own the rights to it anymore. But it's a little bit sad. He
had stepped away from work due to his cancer.
Yeah.
And just a week before, so it happened pretty quick.
Yeah, it sucks.
After that.
I don't like it. But their studio will continue to build out what he was working on, and they're going to release whatever the heck that was. Super interested in it because Daggerfall famously is still, I think, has the record for the most square footage in a game, virtual square footage in a video game.
Yeah, it's insane. Its map is beyond big. Now, it's a lot of just
nothing.
But it is extremely big.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the games that we go, oh my gosh, the world is so big, fit into like the tiniest portion of the Daggerfall map.
Yeah, I saw a picture, World of Warcraft's entirety, all of its expansions, all of it just barely cut into like a little chunk.
Yep.
And when they represent Daggerfall in other games, ESO or in other Elder Scrolls games where you visit that area, it's nothing compared to what it was. It's like it's nothing, like zero. All of Elder Scrolls Online, which is fairly big, not even close. Anyway, thoughts to his family and his friends because that sucks. He wasn't that old. What else? Oh, did you guys see the Hellraiser trailer? I'm terrified. I'm scared.
I didn't see the trailer.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta be honest. I actually have never seen any of the Hellraiser anything.
Really?
Same. I haven't seen any of the Hellraisers either, and I'm thinking,
my
I guess
gosh.
this should be this should be a marathon. Like this should be a thing I do is watch these movies.
And this is what's his name? The author of the original book,
Clive Barker.
Clive Barker, writing it. And his Books of Blood series was like Forbidden Fruit when I was in high school. But I love this stuff, man. Yeah, I have that puzzle here. Where is it?
Yeah, I mean, I know certain things about it because, cultural zeitgeist and whatnot. So there are things I know about the series, but I've never seen a Hellraiser movie.
Like, you know who Pinhead is? You know that he's got pins in his head.
Yeah, I know there.
You know what Cenobites are?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't remember the name, but as soon as you said it, I was like, okay, yeah, I remember the name.
I mean, it looks scary as shit. Like they're not just making another Dead Till Daylight or Dead Dawn Till Deadlight or whatever it is. They're not making one of those. None of those. They're making like a true first-person horror experience, single-player focus, and it looks wicked as hell. I'm very excited about it. I have the puzzle. See,
you're very excited about it? Is this a horror game that someone isn't going to have to buy you? You're going to buy yourself?
No, I suspect someone will buy it, and then I will play it. I will not still do this to myself, but I'm excited to see what they do.
You should buy yourself one horror game.
You should buy at least one horror game. Oh, more Thor fights going on over here. Great. I'll check that out later. That guy's having a moment.
I mean, the game looks psychotic. I thought it was a VR game at first. I was like, this is going to kill me.
Probably have a mod, right? At some point? Or get a VR version?
Maybe. I don't know. But
I forgot how to open this.
We'd just find Beau in his house. He'd look like that guy in The Ring.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the game, the first movie in particular, when I was a kid, oh my gosh, it just put me in a place and never let go. And even the most recent one was pretty freaking cool. And there were a bunch of bad sequels in between.
Well, that's the way with most horror movies.
But Clive Barker's an all-timer, man. That guy's, the Books of Blood alone are just like, oh my gosh. They were like...
He's done like quite a few things though, right? Like he had some video games for a while and...
Did he? I don't remember. Clive
Yeah,
Barker.
I think he had a video game. He was involved with Candyman.
He may have... Did he write Candyman? Let's see. Here we go. Clive Barker, Undying. Oh, Undying he did.
Yeah, I remember there was a video game in the day where
that's it. That's the one.
Clive Barker
and
Games.
Jericho.
Here we go. Clive Barker's Jericho. That came out in 2007. Undying 01. Nightbreed, the interactive movie, was a full motion video movie from 90. And then Nightbreed, the action game, also 1990. Those are the only ones he's done. But I really like his books. I mean, they're terrifying and awful, but man, it's good stuff. Finally, Beau, you've been all into the Starcraft 2 esports scene lately.
Yeah, I put it in the games I play, but my list is a little on the longer side, so I moved it here. Just a heads up to everyone that the esports World Cup in Riyadh is happening. If you like watching Starcraft, it's a big one. First place is $200,000, which I was like, oh man,
pretty high.
But the production value of this tournament has been like off the chain. Riyadh's in Saudi Arabia. I'm pretty sure they're in Saudi Arabia, right?
Riyadh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the capital of Saudi Arabia. Yes, it's in Saudi Arabia. So like every player has this gold triangle, and if you knock another player out, you take their gold thing and smash it in this gold breaking thing, and then
Whoa.
and then if you win the tournament, you get to take 3 of the gold things you smashed and encase it in amber under your trophy as a graveyard of your fallen enemies.
Yeah.
And then on the overall leaderboard, they're going to take all the broken ones and make a full graveyard of all the things. Like, the production value of this tournament is actually just it's insane. And I'm like, damn, no one's talked about StarCraft in a while, and all of a sudden it's like they poured the money tap on StarCraft and just went nuts with this production. It's kind of awesome to see, just out of nowhere. And it was fun because they've hired think of any media personality involved with StarCraft 2, and they're all hired on this thing. I saw Kalaris from he was a shoutcaster from the Heroes of the Storm days, but he also does StarCraft. And I was like, oh shit, I haven't seen this guy in 3 years or something like that.
Wow. It's
kind of a blast from the past. So it's a really good production. And, I follow a lot of these players, because I watch StarCraft, I just watch StarCraft, so I know it's like wrestling for me, where you're like, oh man, what's The Rock up to? But Cyril's here, Kier's here. I know kind of the storylines, and the matches have been really great. And I spent a lot of my week watching this week. They're 9-hour broadcasts, and
it makes me want to play StarCraft a little
fantastic. Yeah, I played a bit of StarCraft too as well, but mainly some of them have been riveting matches to watch, and it's happening now. So
where are they putting it up if people want to watch it?
I would it's esports World Cup is I think it's esports World Cup is the name of the YouTube channel, actually.
Yeah, it looks like they've got live stuff happening.
They're doing
now.
A mobile game too. There's a Call of Duty competition happening and a Wild Rift competition. It really bugs me to see people on phones competing in arenas. It's just so weird, but whatever. This
is them going right now. They have a live stream of it happening.
Yeah, I mean, I have a link in the show notes. I just can't remember the channel name because they have a couple channels. Let me just link off of there.
The guy just rubbed his nipple. I'm just going to put it out there.
EWC, Esports World Cup, 1.28 million subscribers. So if you go to the lives, you'll see it. This was live earlier today.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the finals, but it's pretty deep into the tournament. It was day 4.
Wild.
No, it says final day, so they're going to crown it. They probably already crowned a champion. I haven't watched this production. Whatever you're watching is not StarCraft now.
Well, they have 2 streams going. Let's see, day 3, day 4.
Just you got to go to the live part and get at the StarCraft stuff, not the. So there's other esports World Cup things happening like Call of Duty and stuff. So we don't want that. I think if you go to the playlist, maybe you'll find the StarCraft stuff. Yeah, StarCraft. Go to the playlist, Esports World Cup 2025. Oh, it doesn't separate it out into.
Not yet, anyway.
StarCraft.
I'd have to figure it out. There's some Overwatch bullshit.
But in the picture, they have JPEGs. You'll see StarCraft 2 in the image. Day 1, stream A. Day 2, stream A. Day 3, stream A. And then day 4, stream A. Final day. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they archive it all, looks like. By the way, this city.
Live.
Look at this city, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's where it's like, wait, they're in Riyadh. It's like
I think there's like three different green lanterns all holding those buildings up at once, just trying to keep it all
created by the Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
That's what they hired them for. They're like, come here, make buildings.
That's wild to me. Jeez. Well, anyway, that's cool, dude. Glad you're enjoying that.
It's good Starcraft. It's been a really good. Like, I wasn't planning on watching Starcraft this week, and then I caught it the first day, and I was like, oh man, like. Everybody is here. Artos is Tasteless, State, Zombie Grub, like Alaris, Rotterdam, like any name you can think of, they're there. Plus people I don't know, and I'm like, damn.
Wow.
So anyways, if you like StarCraft 2, it's a good week.
Go check it out. We're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we will do a Dear Martha. We got some games to talk about that we all played and more. Come on back, you hear? All right, we're back, everybody. Hey, what's going on? We're back from the break, and we're going to do a little Dear Martha game show. John will explain the whole thing, but I'm guessing we're going to get challenged again.
All right. Yes, we're back. We're going to do Find the Flaw. We've been doing this for a while. I think the score's all tied up. Nobody got any points last week, including the chat. Chat didn't get it. We'll see how everybody does this week. So basically what we're going to do, if this is your first time, I'm going to read a Dear Martha letter. Somewhere in the letter is a factual inaccuracy that needs to be called out.
Okay.
It's just required. It's internet law.
All right.
And
factual inaccuracy.
The first person to tell me what that flaw is that I've intentionally placed in here gets a point.
Okay.
Currently, you're both sitting at 2.5 points, right?
I think so. 2.5 each.
2.5 apiece. I don't think we got any last
each?
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And I'm ready when you are.
Here we go.
My dearest Martha, do you remember the PlayStation 2? Of course you do. Everyone remembers the PlayStation 2. That's intentional hyperbole, not a factual error. Let's take a moment, though, to really ask ourselves, do we really remember the PlayStation 2? Do we remember the weird blue gradient vertical stand that was often shown in images of the system despite not being included with the system itself? And the general belief that the console being vertical was more problematic than beneficial? Do we remember that the official PlayStation 2 memory cards were generally only available in 8 megabyte sizes? And that there was a 16 megabyte version that Sony put out, but it was really just 2 8 megabyte partitions with a switch to select between them on one card? Martha, do you remember that the system had a 40 gigabyte hard drive that came with Final Fantasy XI? It needed to be used in conjunction with the PlayStation Network adapter, an adapter that allowed for online gaming in games like Final Fantasy XI, EverQuest Online Adventures, and 2 Resident Evil games. Martha, if I see the words iToy or multi-tap adapter, does that spark images of black PS2 peripherals in your head? Specifically a weird camera accessory and a way to plug in more than just 2 controllers? Because both the original and slim versions of the PS2 only allowed for 2 by default. Well, maybe some of these don't jog your memory in quite the right way, because if you said yes to remembering all of these things, then you remembered incorrectly. So I'll ask you again, Martha. Do you remember the PlayStation 2?
Shit.
Yours in this life and the next. PlayStations of Mass Destruction 01.
Oh, man. I thought I caught one or two
Scott,
in
did
there.
you remember everything?
Kinda. I kept track of a few things. So I had this multi-tap adapter and iToy. Those are accurate. And they were black. Although, were they both black?
I had a PS2 as well.
I'm going to get hung up on the
I
color.
had a PlayStation 2.
I remember.
The blue gradient vertical stand.
I
remember not having a stand for mine, but was there? This seems
thought they shipped with them.
weird blue. Well,
Pretty sure they shipped with them.
I guess I want to see what it looks like.
All right, let's see. System, general belief.
Do you remember?
Oh, despite not being included in the system?
I guess not. I mean, I
You
remember.
can buzz in at any time. Remember, it's
I'm
a
buzzing in.
competition, not a collaboration.
I'm buzzing in.
Okay,
in.
Scott.
Jill. I'm buzzing in with Jill. I think that stand came with it. Mine came with one.
Incorrect. It did not come with the vertical
How
stick.
did I get
40
this
gigabyte
separately.
I'm buzzing in, Buzz.
Here, I'll give you a berry.
Barry.
Okay, go.
Final Fantasy 11 did not come with a 40 gigabyte hard drive.
I think it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah.
What? A 40 gigabyte hard
To
drive?
be-
for
to be-
PS2?
PS2 had no
Two-
hard drive, so had to have it, right? Because there's no hard drive in there. There was no default, as far as I know.
Yep.
It was all memory cards and
I
off
didn't
disk.
play 11. Oh, 11, the MMO.
The MMO, yeah. Now, well, let's not get too lost there. Okay, I'm gonna buzz in again.
Yes, Scott.
2 Resident Evil games.
That is correct. There were 2. It was Resident Evil Outbreak Chronicles 1 and 2.
Okay. Black. Why would you say black to PS2 peripherals? Why does the color matter here? I think the multi-tap was gray.
PS2 was...
Multi-tap was gray. I'm
Okay, you're
chiming in.
buzzing.
Buzzing in.
Jill!
Barry. No, they were.
Shit.
All the peripherals were that color.
They were gray. I also had the multi-tap for the first one, so.
I remember having a memory card, but I don't remember the 16 megabyte one. But I feel like that 8 megabyte thing is correct.
Yeah, the 16 having a switch, though. So you switch between the peripherals, or not peripherals, the
The partitions.
partitions. They're not even,
but
memory isn't
it had-
partitioned anyway.
It had weird memory limitations. I'm gonna buzz in. Buzz.
Yes, Beau.
Buzz.
Was iToy was for a different PlayStation. It wasn't PS2.
No, it was the
PS3?
PlayStation 2
Nah,
iToy.
PlayStation 3 had one too, but yeah, that's not a bad guess.
I'm gonna buzz in.
Okay,
Buzz.
buzz.
Yes.
There was
yes.
no slim version of the PS2.
No, there was.
Incorrect. There was.
Yeah, I had that one.
And I hope you didn't like that 40 gigabyte hard drive because it was only compatible with the fatty.
And it only worked with that game, didn't it? Or people probably hacked it or did something weird to it, but
In the US, I don't know if Final Fantasy XI was the only game that used it. I know in Japan other games could use it to some degree, but I don't remember what all the ones were in the US.
there was no PlayStation Network adapter.
Damn it!
It was a phone. It was a phone-in thing. It was a dial-up connector. There's
It
no
was called the PS2 Network adapter.
shitballs.
All right. Well, the Resident Evil. I'm buzzing in. The Resident Evil games didn't need the network adapter.
Yes, they did.
Jesus.
They were multiplayer games.
They were online multiplayer.
None of these are the
And
things I did
because
with
they
the
were over
PlayStation
phone
2.
lines when I played, because I played Outbreak File 1 and 2 with friends on this thing, we had to call each other on the phone for voice comms.
Oh, buzz in. Buzz.
Yep.
Barry.
The PlayStation 2 was problematic being vertical.
Yeah, that's what it says. The general belief that the console being vertical was more
well,
problematic
you
than
said
beneficial.
belief makes it sound like skeptical. So I was like, no,
No,
for sure.
no, that's a fair one, and I like where your head's at.
Are you guys throwing in the towel?
Show
Kind of sounds
I had
like
one
you're
of
throwing
these.
in the towel. Beau's like, finally, one I can participate in. I should know this. Chat wants to see the letter. Scott, can you put the letter up while
I can.
you guys...
I forgot.
think?
I actually like putting this letter
All right,
up.
I'm buzzing in. There was no partitioned 8 megabit card.
Incorrect. Sony did release an official 16 megabyte version of the card, but it was really just two 8 megabyte partitions that you had to switch between.
Okay. Son of a bee, dude. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Let's see. Resident Evil.
I feel like remember the play. Of course, you do remember the PlayStation 2. Blue gradient vertical stand. Okay. Do you remember the? That's 11. That was a thing during PS2. I remember that as a Spark Images.
Does it spark images of black PS2 peripherals in your head?
I like that you guys are reading it like it's a riddle. Like the riddle of the Sphinx has been put before you.
So it's just a factually incorrect statement, not necessarily.
Actually, I do want to give Tezzeret Dynamite a shout out because this is not the flaw, but I appreciate the callback to a previous episode because I did write Final Fantasy XI numerically, which I got really mad at the other day, saying it needs to be Roman numerals, and then I didn't do it myself. So, Tezzeret Dynamite, you're the only one who gets a point for that.
That's pretty good.
I will give you a point for that, but that is not the flaw.
All right, well, I'm going to ignore... Let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm ignoring that.
You did write it in Roman numerals after XI is 11, right? So
I know, I did, yeah.
You did it both ways. EverQuest
I did
Online.
it both ways.
The blue gradient vertical stand, there's no... I don't like this gradient word.
Gradient. Yeah, I didn't. I was like, I stopped myself from Googling it, but I'm going to Google it now. Blue
is great. Is that it?
Well, it's blue. It's a blue vertical stand, but there's a gradient to it. It goes from light blue to dark blue.
Oh, yeah. I see what they're talking about. I did not get one of these when I bought my PlayStation 2. I will say that.
Well, shit potatoes.
With it.
Okay. Problematic. I don't want to give up yet. Okay, 16-bit.
I don't want to give up yet.
Is it this?
Yeah, me neither.
Is it this right here? The switch? Isn't there was no switch on that?
I already guessed.
Oh, you did that one? Okay.
Scott's breaking this letter down so in depth. He's drawing on it.
Well, you know this part.
Was the multi-tap adapter not black?
Scott already guessed that. Yeah, they both are the same black.
I know the iToy was. Yeah.
All right. We have these paragraphs to worry about. All this other is fluff, including the Dear Martha part. Do we remember? Okay. So switch between on the card. Martha, do you remember the system at 40 gig?
Yeah. It only allowed 2 controllers.
Oh! It wasn't gigabyte. It was a megabyte hard drive.
No, it's
Shit!
30 gig.
Shit balls.
Is it... Wait, okay. Is it that the memory cards were 8 gigabyte, not 8 megabyte?
No,
they were definitely megabyte, yeah.
Guys, I think you have to have considered throwing in the towel at this point.
No, someone's got to pull ahead.
Is it the EverQuest? What's EverQuest Online Adventures? That sounds like it might be bullshit.
It's a game that came out for the PlayStation 2 that required a network adapter.
Shit! I give up. I got nothing. What do you say, Beau?
I'm sorry. I gotta say a big apology to the chat room who never got it right, besides that 1 point that we gave out to Tezzeret Dynamite. Chat room never got it. Scott never got it. He even crossed it out in red because he didn't think it was important because I was really mean this week.
Yeah.
The line, because if you said yes to remembering all of these things, then you remembered incorrectly. That is false because all of these things are true.
My God. You know what that gets? Here we go. I'm making the penis.
Well done.
We're making a penis. Here's your penis. We now have a penis. Damn, dude. That was brutal. So the statement that was incorrect is the one telling us
that there's an incorrect statement.
All right, now we know, Beau. We know what we have to do next time.
Well, it's not uncommon for like all of the above or none of the above to be an answer on a test. So, it's fair.
God.
I told my wife that I had to spend so much more time on this one than any of the others because to actually make sure that everything was factually correct, because if you're going to say the inaccuracy is saying something's inaccurate, I had to put in so much more work to it. And she said, why? What's different? And I told her what the flaw was. And she goes, you're so mean.
She's right.
I think it's fair. I think if this was an ABCD question, none of the above would be an option. I think it's fair.
All right.
I think it passes muster.
I know I'll be looking more for this in the future. I know you're not going to do it back to back, although maybe you will now that you think.
No, because it's way more work. And I already see Chad saying next time it's going to be a spelling mistake. It will never be a spelling mistake.
Okay.
I make way too many of those, and sometimes I do those.
You gave Tezzeret a point for your spelling mistake today.
But that was more of a philosophical one. I appreciated the callback to the philosophy.
Move around quite a bit.
Yeah, I think Tezzeret's point though is more of a floating point. There's no real tangibility to his point. I mean, I like Tezzeret Dynamite, but I'm just saying. Well, all right then. That was fun, John. Well done as usual. We got stumped. All right, let's get to the games we played this week. Where'd it go? Oh, that's not it at all. Hey, look at this, guys. I played a whole bunch of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and so did John. Well, I don't know how much you played. We're going to talk about it, I guess.
A whole lot. I think
good.
I'm further in the game than you.
Oh, my gosh.
Maybe.
Really?
I don't know.
You might be.
Where are you? What sublayer are you?
I am in sublayer 6.
Sublayer.
6 something. Hold on. I don't have it handy to look at. Anyway, I'm
over 1,000.
Oh, shit. You're further than me.
Yeah.
You must have had some real dedicated time. I ended up getting tons of shit got in my way this week, and I did not have the playtime I wanted. I ended up streaming a couple of sessions. They ended up being almost all the time I had. I had a couple other, I think maybe another hour and a half where I got a chance to escape and play. But just too much other stuff going on with family and everything, and I never got back to it. But I am going to beat this game. I know people laugh when I say that shit. This is one I'm beating. I am in love with this game. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll just tell you right now that you're going to be hard pressed by the end of this year to not have this be my pick for game of the year. I know that I need to finish 33. Play more than 2 hours.
The major reason I believe you is because you also finished Red Faction this year. And this is basically Red Faction. Someone said we missed an opportunity to call it Red Faction Guerrilla.
Yeah, we did. We didn't call it Red Faction Guerrilla.
This is basically Red Faction. So, if you don't finish this, you hate Red Faction.
I must hate Red Faction. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I love it. I love this game. I think this game is just pure gaming. It's pure video game. It's this combination of mechanics and fun and whimsy and just Nintendo, just a coat of Nintendo paint. It's just hard to not love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm not done. I will keep playing until I'm done, but it's me and Pauline forever, man. Unlocking skins and going deeper and taking on weird shit. You know what I just got? Now I'm past. Oh no, that was layer 5 something. Anyway, I got the stupid what are they called? The zebra power guy.
Yeah.
I did that.
Zebra.
Yeah. And can I just say I love the zebras? Because the zebras, the way they talk, the NPCs, when you go talk to them, they're just like,
brah. They say brah.
And they say brah all the time. I love those guys. They're amazing. And I hate bro talk, but I love the way that they're
they say brah because they're zebras.
That's true. Good point. Very Nintendo of them to do that.
Oh, my God.
It's there's a lot of cornball shit in there like that, but it's all working for me. You heard me talk about it a ton last week, so I don't have a ton of new things to add, except it just gets more innovative and interesting the lower you go, and I can't wait to see it all. John, thoughts?
Well, part of the reason I've made it so far in the game is because, somewhat as predicted, this game has captured not just my imagination, but my son's as well. He really likes this game. He wants to, he just says, Dad, can I smash? Mm-hmm. And he will hold one side of the controller and I will hold the other side, and he just punches and just smashes everything. And he just he takes it very seriously. Like, I expected some real big, like, oh, I'm having so much fun. But he gets locked in and he's like, we're smashing. Mm-hmm. And he just punches everything, and I'm like, are you done? Because he seems bored because he's quiet. Mm-hmm. And he's just like focused on it. And I'm like, are you done? He's like, no, keep smashing.
Yeah.
And he will just run around and he'll smash things, and he's like, dig a hole. And then he sees the little people that are made out of just shapes, and he just punches them into oblivion, and they reform, and he thinks that's great. He really likes goofing around with this game. And so we've been having a lot of fun with it together, although I have to say he made me immensely proud. It was one of the proudest moments of me as a parent, because he came in and he looked at the game and he goes, why do you look like that? And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, he's the wrong color.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because I had a skin on Donkey Kong.
Right, you can unlock all these colors. And I said,
do you want to change the skin? And he goes, yeah. So we go to the menu, and I've unlocked a bunch at this point.
Yeah.
And he goes, I said, okay, so you don't like the color that he is. I think he was purple or something at the time. And he goes, yeah. And I said, what color should he be? So I go through all the colors and he goes, brown. I said, okay. So I put him on the default brown. And then he goes, no pants. And I said, he can't have pants on. And he goes, no pants.
Are you sure this isn't you cloned or something?
I had to take the pants off Donkey Kong. And so then I said, is everything else okay? And he goes, I said, do you want to change his tie? And he goes, yeah. So he's looking at all the tie options. And I go through it 3 or 4 times. And he goes to the standard red Donkey Kong tie. And he goes, there. And I said, do you want to change her outfit too? And he goes, yeah. I go through all the outfits I have for Pauline. He puts her in the default dress too. And he's like, good.
And he, of course, is too young to care about the stats or any of that improvements because the different outfits have stats and all that.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And he came in after he left and I had changed it. And he goes, change him back. I said, okay, I will. He's not having any of it in terms of changing the outfits. He's like, nope, they got one style. This is how they need to look. He's definitely anti-pants on Donkey Kong. Those have to come right off. You put pants on him. He can tolerate different ties. In fact, I got one tie that has a bunch of apples on it, and he likes that. He's like, oh, apple tie. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But he's okay with that. But you put pants on Donkey Kong, he's like, pants come off.
I mean, you are raising your own child. You're yourself as your child. You really are. Like I've said it before, most people have kids that are quite different than themselves, and it's part of the fun or whatever. John's literally raising John Jr. with a different name.
I mean, to a degree.
Yeah.
He also really likes cars and stuff. I'm not much of a car guy, but I have to pretend.
Yeah, sure.
So there's differences, but yeah, he cracks me up. We had a lot of fun with it, and I've been playing a lot of it. I mean, I'll tell you, if you look at footage of this game, if you see somebody playing this, you know what this game is. This isn't a case of like there's some secret mystery. If you watch this game, if you watch people playing it and you go, I just don't know why somebody would like that, you're not going to like this game. I don't think it's more than what it appears to be. It is, if it's what you're into though, if you like these kind of third-person collectathon action platformy type games, if that's what you like, that's what this is, and it's really good. It's one of the best ones of those I've ever played.
Yeah.
The destructible environments, which allows you to do some really creative puzzle solving to things. It's just incredibly creative and incredibly good. I think if I had one complaint, if I wanted to say, here's the one area I think it could be better, I do think the upgrade tree in this game kind of sucks.
Oh, why is that?
My philosophy with an upgrade tree in general is that you should feel pretty good at the beginning, and then upgrades should feel, about midway. You'd be like, oh, this feels really good. And then by the end, you should feel like, oh, I'm like super powered. This is great. This game, I've like maxed out a couple of skill points, and the way it feels with maxed out skill points feels like what I think the game should play as by default. So, like, it's a little frustrating to me, and it's a bit of a nitpick, because, again, I think this game's very, very good.
Yeah.
But, like, for example, you put a bunch of points in your health, right? And this game is not hard. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this game's so difficult. But, like, you put a bunch of points in health, and you go, okay, well, what should that net? That should net the fact that now I'm very difficult to kill. But by the time you're at all into the game, things hit you and they take off. I don't know if it's a percentage base of health, but instead of losing 1 heart from getting hit once, I lose 3.5. And it's like, well, this doesn't make me feel very upgraded. It feels exactly the same way it did when I was at level 1.
Yeah, the idea is that now you're taking harder hits so you can take the harder hits, but it kind of just stays. It just means you're the same, really. I agree with that.
And like upgrading the punching strength kind of feels like, okay, well, yeah, you're in harder terrain, but breaking that terrain feels exactly the same way it does in the like supposedly difficult to cut through terrain, and then the easy to get through terrain still feels pretty much the way it did before too. And it's not like you unlock the ability to then beat up enemies that you couldn't beat up before, which I was like, oh, maybe if I max out my punching strength, maybe now if somebody's made out of some material I normally have to hit him with a rock. Maybe now I can punch him. Nope, none of that. Like, they just all feel kind of inconsequential. It feels like it's there as an afterthought instead of something actually useful.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
It's not, again, that doesn't break the game. It's just kind of a neutral thing.
To me, it's like it's almost like part of the collecting. You're just collecting these upgrades, and you're right. The results of them are not all that massive. There's a couple of them where you're like, oh, the range on the collection's way better now, and I can just clap and get way more stuff. So there's a few that I think are consequential, that are utility based, but the ones that are just like increase your hearts or have a stronger punch or have the clap, you're pounding your chest to turn you into a giant freak ape, takes less time. Some of those are just sort of like, well, I unlocked it. I now have it. There's a lot more in the game that I focus on than that. But you're right. I think those are kind of weak.
But the game is more than the skill tree, and the game is definitely, it's above it. I think, the charm and the fun that's there is there regardless. Again, it's not like it's an insanely difficult game. I had a few moments where I was like, where am I going? What do I need to do? I've gotten stuck in a couple places because I've like staunchly been like, no, I have to find this banana. And I'm not going to leave until I do. And I was there for a very long time as a result. But I think the story is really charming. I think it's funny that there's all these elder animals that all decided to give up their normal jobs to become DJs for some reason.
Yeah, they're all DJs, dude.
They're all old and they're all like, well, now I decided to give up the life and now I'm a DJ.
They're all Funky Kong wannabes or whatever.
Every single animal is in this same situation. Yeah. They're like, we're all DJs now.
Very odd.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a fun game. And again, if you're curious as to whether or not you'll like it, watch 10 minutes of gameplay. And if it looks like something that you think is fun, that you would enjoy doing, it's exactly that. If it's not your cup of tea, this game does not go beyond what it claims to be. It's not.
Yeah, they're not promising much, although I hear the ending is special in a bunch of ways that aren't normal for this sort of genre. But if you're looking for like what everything John said, I would just add to that, if you played a game like Odyssey or even previous the good 3D Mario games and you like those, environmental puzzle solving, collecting all this stuff, gotta get them all, the whimsy of it all, if that stuff appeals to you, this is a step in a slightly new direction, mostly down, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but like working your way down to the core of the earth. There's some innovation with how you're getting around and what you're doing. Obviously, the breaking stuff apart thing is innovative for any of their series. But I think it's getting 9s and 10s for a reason. But it will not be a 9 and a 10 for you if you are someone who doesn't like 3D platformers. Like, do not apply. Don't play it. I think that's good advice.
And they are doing some interesting things with the narrative. I mean, again, this isn't an RPG. This isn't a game you go like, oh, I need the compelling journey of Donkey Kong and Pauline. But they're putting in some effort in that front. Like, it has been nice to watch as you go through the layers, because a big part of this is Pauline singing and all of that. Yeah. Like, narratively, as you progress, you are seeing her develop more confidence in her ability and willingness to sing around other people. And so they are at least respecting the story they're telling, in that, like, no, it's not the crazy, most advanced story in the whole world, but they are showing character growth in the form of like, hey, here's this person that, like, when you meet her is too afraid to sing, or, loves singing, seems to be tied to her power in some way, but like she's scared by it. And as you go further into it, it's like, oh, well, now she's not as afraid. She's not as timid. She doesn't need DK to beat his chest quite so much to convince her to do it. It's not a complicated story, but they're putting in work to it. They're also not ignoring it. They're not going, well, it doesn't matter. They're treating it like it matters.
Yeah. And there's a sweetness to it. There's when you go to your little, basically there's save spots where you can rest to get all your hearts back and gain some temporary hearts. There's like a little story bit where if you don't go straight to sleep, she wants to talk to you. So she's like, there's a little bit of something back and forth, like, I just want to sing, or I'm here to help you, DK, or, there's these just nice little interactions. All you really care about is bananas.
Yeah.
but you're also there to protect her. Like, I don't know. There's a sweetness to it that.
Well, and she
works for
also
me.
knows it because every now and then she'll comment like, "Oh, I'd be terrified if I turned into a banana,"
Mm-hmm.
you know, because she's like, that would be the only thing that would scare me."
Yeah.
You are so banana crazy,
Yeah.
DK.
Yeah.
And he is. It has led to the amount of times around the house we have used the phrase, "Oh,
banana.
It just.
So good.
It gets ingrained in you because every time you get a banana, oh, banana.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, his eating sound always makes me think of Scooby-Doo because he's like, yum, 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 yum.
Oh, yeah. The best part is when he eats 3 of them. He gets real stoked about 3
Yeah.
and we'll do like a rhythmic like he just did. And it's so endearing. It's just there's nothing in this game I've been annoyed with yet. And I think that's hard to do in a 3D platformer. Most 3D platformers annoy me in some way pretty early on. This hasn't done that yet. It's giving me crazy freedom. In some ways, it's like, hey, Breath of the Wild had sex with Mario Odyssey, and this is the game we got. Because there's a lot of like, even fall out of the sky like Tears of the Kingdom at the beginning. And kind of obviously so. Like, I think that was definitely a nod in that direction. But it's just a wonderful little thing. I love it.
Yeah, I think the closest thing to a pressure point I've had with the game has been, for whatever reason, I just cannot get behind the controls. Like, it took me a really long time to get my what's punch up, what's punch down, what's punch forward, what's jump. Like, I just really did not like where they put the jump button. And the amount of times I would just find myself like, I need to jump. And I just start digging a hole straight down. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I had to get used
but
to that
it's
too.
not
That's
it's
true.
not the end of the world because again the game doesn't require, especially in the early stages where you're learning it doesn't require a level of accuracy with that. So when you dig instead of jump, you're not like, oh my gosh, my gameplay is ruined. It's just a silly thing that you laugh about and then you move on with.
Yeah, it's definitely got. That's a great way of putting it. For a game that should have you getting lost and stuck 50 times a minute because you're like, shit, I dug too deep, or oh no, I went in the wrong mountain hole, or all of these things, it's remarkably clear what to do to get out because it's all destructible, all of it. Hell, one of the worst things I've ever done is I walked into one of those shops and they were very nice in there. Like, we got all kinds of cool shit for you in this place. Do you want to come hang out in here? And I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I hit the wrong button, hit the shoulder button, clapped, and destroyed the store. It blew it to pieces and half the building fell apart. And
They're cool with it.
Yeah, the guy inside was like, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Everybody's pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're these little, like part people, and you freaking punch them and obliterate them out of existence, and then they just form back, and they're like, "You having a good day?"
Yeah, it's really weird. It's a really weird game, but yeah, it's great. I look forward to beating it. It sounds like John's a lot closer than me. I'm in 600, level 600 something. You said 1,000. I don't know how
over
deep
1,000.
it goes.
I don't know how deep it goes either. I thought maybe 1,000 would be it, but I think I'm at like 1,200 or something, and we're still going. So.
Jeez Louise. Well, yeah, we'll see how this holds up at the end of the year. Right now, I'm loving it so much I can barely play anything else. However, I got a little time to play a game. Beau might be interested in my take on this, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The automation sale that happened? That was a thing?
Yep.
I didn't really pick anything up, but one of the things I wanted to try was Captain of Industry, and I just sort of went, I'll get it around the next time they do a sale. It seemed like a neat game. Lots of
I
improvements.
skipped it. Yeah.
And guy writes to me every year around my birthday, Dirty Llama, and says, hey, it's your birthday. What game do you want? And I go, oh, Dirty Llama, it's you again.
You got a birthday llama?
I got a birthday llama, and he kicks the llama's ass. Anyway, he says, what game do you want? I said, well, I could do this one, I guess. So let's try this. So I got Captain of Industry. And Captain of Industry is an automation strategy game along the lines-ish, I'm going to say, of Factorio, Satisfactory, the one we like that I always forget the name of, Dyson Sphere Program.
Yep.
Those kinds of games. And it's a little more rooted in reality, though, because you're dealing with trucks and boats and kind of modern machinery and methods of extracting resources and then building things with those resources. So you assign essentially, like you can see this in this video right now, your first job is to assign this tree removal unit to go and remove some trees. And then you have to assign a couple of trucks to it that can carry the logs back for processing. And that's a little different because I'm not used to sending units out to do stuff. So in some ways, the game feels like a traditional city builder with a few of those kinds of ideas. But it's also very automation centric. You're trying to optimize your production and pull it back and build, slowly build out your smokestacks and your charcoal production, and then eventually better fuels, better materials. The concept is you've been put on an island and you've got to survive there. Not just survive there, but thrive there, and basically become this great exporter of all these goods. And you just kind of start small and you work your way out. I am very early in this. I've had hardly any time to play it. It came to me a little bit late in the week, but I played enough to know that this has got that same crack. The reviews are in the 90s for a reason. Progress feels good. There are moments of like, oh shit, those connect? Okay, cool. So what if I put that in front of this? The only downside of all of this is it seems like your choices have a much more permanence in this game, where in most of these games you can kind of pick shit up and move it around. Shapes is the biggest example of it, where it really costs you nothing to change your factories, so you focus more on efficiency and less on, what you're putting out or what mesh you've made or whatever. If you make spaghetti here, it'll work. It's not that you can't make a game out of that. It's that it's a huge pain in the ass to tear it all apart and start over. So there is an emphasis here on do a better job in the beginning.
Which you've already said you're not great.
No, I'm terrible at that. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity for me to try to improve that about my...
There's an opportunity cost for making a bad decision with logistics.
Correct. It's not like... And they're not insurmountable. You don't ruin the game forever. It's not like that kind of problem. But it's enough... It's a little more like... satisfactory in that way, where if you're playing it without any rules, without any cheats turned on or whatever, stuff you do matters, and you kind of, you tearing stuff up means you're going to lose a little bit of resources, and you're going to have to, reevaluate what you're geomodding on the ground and all that stuff. This game's pretty
big thing was always quarries, where you dig a hole to get stone out of, and then all of a sudden your city expands and the quarry can't be filled in.
Right.
You're like,
right.
Oh, shit.
And this has geomodding in that there are ways to fill stuff up, but it's part of your decision making on how do I want to lay this out? Yeah, what resources do I spend?
Labor, you got to hire people and get the resources probably, and it's a whole thing.
Correct. Yeah. There's a bunch more going on. What's weird about this game, I think anyway, most of these games are like, I don't know, 10 gigabytes or something. This game is like tiny. Or not 10 gigabytes. Like, what am I trying to say? More than that. This thing is small. It's like 2.2 gigabytes or something. It's a tiny little game compared to most games these days, which really surprises me. It seems neat, though, and I'm going to keep messing with it. Obviously, I'm going to keep playing it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. But so far, so good. So big, huge thanks once again to Dirty Llama for the birthday gift.
The end goal, like, in Dyson Sphere, you got to build a Dyson Sphere.
It seems like in their latest update introduced off-planet delivery of goods. Okay. So you get a rocket. You kind of have to build up to this, and there's trains and all this other stuff to get you there. But eventually you're going to off-world your production. Oh, the latest update also added a space station that you can now manage separately from all this. Well, they're connected, but it's a little like Dyson Sphere in that you're expanding outward to do other things outside of the realm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but they're still early access. There's still plenty more to come, but the reviews were so strong, and just some of the reviews were like, once it gets your teeth into you, this might be the last one of these you play. And so I'm going to try to find whatever they're talking about. See if I can find that fun and exploit it.
I should have bought it while it was on sale. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap for a bit there. Anyway, big thanks to Dirty Llama for that, and a quick shout out to CT7567 for the 2 Point Museum Fantasy Finds DLC that he sent me.
Oh, thank you to him too. I got that as well. I didn't play it, but I appreciate it.
Heard good things about it because the base game's awesome, and that additional stuff sounds neat. You find like fantasy relics and wands and weird magic shit. It's kind of cool. And then back to the Dawn. I don't know
the dong.
Yeah, Dawn. It looks like a.
Back on the dong.
It looks like a bunch of animals.
Back to the dong.
They're a bunch of animals in prison, and it's some kind of RPG, and that's all I know. I haven't launched it yet. I just can tell you from the screenshots that it looks like almost like a golden book, but it's like super mature. Like bad stuff happens in prison. You got to try to get out of there. You got to work the laundry. Like I can't. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'm very confused, but I'm worried a payment processor is going to cancel it.
Get it before Visa won't let you get it again anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know that it's full of like sex
animal
stuff.
people in a prison. Yeah.
Here it is. Let's see if I can show this to the chat. It's like a.
Oh, this looks. Whoa! What is this?
It's a kind of point and click CRPG. Reviews are really good. People are basically comparing this to things like the one I never remember the name of,
Disco
Elysium. Choices matter. You make the wrong one, you're dead. Like, don't just assume that you can, point and click your way to fun times or whatever. There's a lot going on here. Steam Deck verified, works with controller. There's a bunch of things I'm looking forward to testing out with it, but I just haven't had a chance yet. It's made by a Chinese team, and there was some talk in the discussions that if you install it and load it on your Steam Deck and launch it the first time, it will be all in Chinese, and they give you a little guide to how to go switch it to English. I haven't had to do that yet, but just putting that out there in case anybody grabs it. It's $16.99.
A thing.
But it's reviewing really well. People really like it. The animation's great. You choose a different animal archetype at the beginning. I think a fox. I forget what this guy is. I think he's a wolf. They have different skills. Some are more stealthy. Some are more tanky. It's very RPG-ish. And you roll dice. There's dice rolls. So, Panther, I guess. Dice rolls are great. I like those. Everybody likes a good dice roll. So, good stuff. Anyway, thanks for that. I will play that and let you know what I think of that. CT.
Oh, you can play poker in prison. Okay.
Yeah. You can play poker. You can...
okay. This game looks...
Get a handy in the cafeteria. Just kidding. I don't know about that. I have no idea. No idea.
Who knows?
John, what else you get up to? We probably ought to talk about the elephant in the room, which you sort of obviously made obvious because you're playing Donkey Kong, but you got to Switch 2, and you barely touched on it last week. So
I did. I hadn't even unboxed it after last week's show. So that was part of the reason why we glossed over it super fast, is I didn't have really any thoughts on the system. I still don't have a ton because I haven't done much besides Donkey Kong. I did download the Mario Kart game that came with it.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't played it. So anytime I'm on the Switch 2, it's been Donkey Kong. So that's where my interests are right now. And I don't know. I guess I'm not going to be the best person to review Nintendo hardware because I'm not infatuated with it. So I look at it and I go, this seems like a better version of the Switch.
I think that's a fair way of saying it.
I think it's a better version of the Switch. I think it's too expensive. I think the games on it in general are too expensive. I still stand by those feelings. I didn't play Donkey Kong and go, oh my God, this should have been $80. I am surprised they didn't.
I am too. I don't know why. I still think there's something weird with that. I don't know what happened because they were so big on like pushing the 80, especially for older games that weren't even like new games. And I'm like, what are they doing? And then this comes out at 70, and my first thought was, oh, they must not think much about this Donkey Kong game. Maybe it's not as good as. And then it ends up being such a freaking banger. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Who knows? But I'll say this about the Switch: like, it's a cool system. It's been nice to be able to play it with my son and have him in here just looking at it and goofing around with it a little bit. I don't let him like run around with the Switch because again, they priced it out of hand it to a 4-year-old.
Yeah, they did.
But he can hold on to the little Joy-Cons and mess with those. I do think I'm going to get a dedicated controller for it.
You get this guy right here. It's very good.
Well, what I've done is 8-Bit Do, who we've talked about before, who shocked me because I've always been only first-party controllers because I grew up on the N64 where bad people got third-party controllers.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you punished your shitty friends. Like, oh, you get the Mad Catz controller.
Right.
And so to me, third-party controllers is like doom and gloom. But we're at a point where I got the 8-bit do, and I like that more than the Xbox 360 or the Xbox Series X controller. And so
we live in a different time for that stuff, I think.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked by it. So they're doing a new version of the 8-bit do. I believe it's called the Ultimate 3. Let me see what I pre-ordered. This is show relevant. It's not out yet. It comes out, I believe, August 12th. So it's the 8-bit do Pro 3 controller, which they have a version that's based on the Famicom. They have a version that's based on the original PlayStation, and they have a version that's based currently on its color schemes on the Nintendo GameCube. I pre-ordered the PlayStation version of it.
Okay, nice.
Although it still has the buttons like an Xbox.
Totally would work
fine. It's kind of weird because the color thing it matches up with the PlayStation, but then it has YXBA on there.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of using this with either, depending on how I like the controller. If I like it more, maybe I'll switch over the one that I have before and pair that with the Nintendo Switch, and then use this one on my computer. But regardless, I really like their controllers, so I'm excited for this one. And it's a different style. It's not styled after the Xbox controllers. It's more of a weird mix. Like, it looks like a Super Nintendo and a DualShock had a baby.
Oh, I think I have one like it. This one right here. Wait. I know they're updating it, which is what you said. It's basically an updated version.
I'll put a link in the chat if people want to see it.
Wait, damn it. You know, sometimes I'm Johnny on the spot with this stuff. Not today. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah,
I guess I could have put it in Discord, and then you could have seen it too. Hold on, I'll do that. Let me put it in Discord, and then you can pull it up easier.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what I have, except this is the new one with wireless charging and all that. This is exactly it. I have this exact controller, and it is great. Well, the previous version was great, and it was called the Pro 2, and it worked. It was mostly a Switch 2 type device, but it's a fantastic controller. You're going to love that one.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to use that with I figured that was better than spending, was it $80 or $90 for the Switch 2 controller, the official one?
Yeah, so my biggest beef with that one is, well, Tom's Hardware tore it apart and said it's garbage. I'm not sure that's 100% true, but they weren't happy about the internals on it. It's a comfortable controller, but it's expensive as hell. And when I was in the same exact position as you, like, what am I going to get? That's why I ended up settling on what I got, is because this was only like $37 on sale. I think it's back up to $45, but it kind of has a Genesis vibe, which I like.
Yeah.
But it's, layout is all for Nintendo stuff, and it's been great. And this is also wireless. Doesn't come with the dock, but it's, USB-C chargeable, works with computer and other stuff if I wanted it to. I've only used it with the Switch. But there's so many other options out there with Hall effect sticks and better, I forgot what they call the new button technique. But anyway, the Hall effect sticks, which you're going to be getting on this new 8-bit do, this also has. Nintendo doesn't, which makes no sense to me. It's like they're asking for drift. They want the drift somehow. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they're way cooler alternatives, I think, for Switch owners right now, Switch 2 owners.
Yeah, and this thing has, I guess the buttons are magnetic, so if I do end up using this for the Switch, I can literally pop the buttons off and put it in the Nintendo configuration. If you get real stuck on if it says A button, I must press the A button. I cannot press the button unless it is properly marked. This has got solutions for you. So I'm excited about that. But overall, I haven't spent a ton of time with the Switch. I will say a lot of the things I complain about, Nintendo people don't care about. I have had performance issues on Donkey Kong Bonanza in some of the more like everything's falling apart. Like there's some bonus stages where they just go crazy with the particle effects.
Yeah.
And playing it on my monitor in HD and all of that, it was like, I can't handle this at a good frame rate.
Yeah.
So, but Nintendo people are like, no, we operate without a care for that. These are the worries of not our people. Same with transferring my Switch 1. Like, I will say, when I got the Xbox Series X and I loaded it up and it was like, hey, sign in. And I went, I don't remember my password. I had to do a forgot your password. And then I signed in. And all the games I had purchased in the history of the Xbox suddenly appeared in my library.
Yeah.
It was a magical, beautiful thing because I didn't even know that was going to happen. With Nintendo, they were like, okay, turn on your Switch. Now put it near the other Switch. I was like, why do they have to be near each other? Put it by the other Switch. Okay, plug it in. So I plugged it in, and it's like, plug it in with its actual cord.
I love the tone
and
you're
I
giving
was
this.
like,
the voice is just amazing. It's right. You're not wrong. It all
Jesus,
happened.
Nintendo, I have to have the actual cord. So I go looking through because I've got a million like little USB C power cords that I can plug in, and it's like, not good enough. I'm like, it's charging. It literally works. I can see the charge. Plug it in with its original cord, god damn it, or you're not getting any of your original Switch stuff.
It blows my mind that they still fumble on this stuff. It's so weird.
I go hunting it down. I find the original cord because I haven't been using it. Because, one, I haven't been using my Switch.
Yeah.
Two, has so many cords. Yeah. There's a reason why they barely sell these things with devices anymore. So I go, I find it. I thankfully still have it. And I plug it in, and it's like, put me near the Switch 2. Okay, this will take a couple minutes. Okay. And then it did something, and it's like, there. Now your stuff is on the Switch 2. It's moved. You can turn them off now. And I'm like, thanks, Nintendo. This is the most ridiculously convoluted for like what should literally be log into an account. And I say this, there's a reason I give it that tone. I used to buy digital for Nintendo all the time on my 3DS.
Yeah.
And I was told incorrectly that all that stuff is saved to your account. And when you get a new 3DS, you can just log into your account and you'll have your digital purchases. Yeah. I traded in my old 3DS to get my new 3DS because I wanted to upgrade it.
Yeah.
But Nintendo pulled some bullshit like they do with the Switch, where you needed both consoles next to each other, even though it's still your account, and I lost everything. And I contacted Nintendo, and they were like, if you don't have the original Switch, or the original DS, then there's nothing we can do for you. And I lost all my digital purchases, and it's baffling that that's the way this works. So yeah, I think is it the end of the world that I had to go find a cord and put the two Switches by each other? No. Is that the way it should work? Also no.
It's archaic.
Nintendo people get treated like this, and then they're like, okay, I'm fine.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Then they just keep suckling at the teeth. And I'm right there with you, I guess. So anyway, that's my early thoughts on the Switch 2. It is what it is.
For the record, they did. So I couldn't find this configuration to do what you're saying you had to do. There is another way, but I had to do a bunch of searching, and I can't even remember how I did it. It was so convoluted. But it was something to do with my account on the website, and I did some fiddling there. Then I go back to the console to enable something in the settings. Beep, bap, boom. Eventually, it got to the point where it said, "All right, you're the owner of this. Here's your digital games." It worked. But it was not as simple as it should be, which is I log in and all my shit's there. That's all it should be. That's all any of this should be. It should never be more than that. That's it. I don't know why Nintendo cannot do that. It's weird to me.
I mean, they only discovered the internet like 3 years ago.
I guess so. These friend codes are still a thing. It's so weird because their games are crack. They're truly innovators in the space. They've changed gaming forever. In some ways invented gaming. Like, you cannot give them enough credit for that side of this, but their lack of being able to glom onto modern standards of any kind is baffling. I'll never understand it. To this minute, it's like, it's 2025, dude. This is a new console. What the F are you doing, Nintendo? Good thing your games are freaking amazing, or what would you be in this industry? Nothing. I mean, they really are hanging on that thread. No, the other thing I was going to mention, store's way faster. I don't know if you hopped in there and just like browsed around a bit, but the worst thing about the Switch one was the abysmal store performance.
The store works.
It's fine.
Works pretty good.
It's no music still, which is still that's an egregious error, but whatever. I play my own head. I sit there and I go,
burp, 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 burp.
Let's see if I do it right here. I just play that in my own head. That's the experience. And then Mario, when I buy something, Mario runs down with a coin, throws it in a bucket, runs back, gets a coin.
It used to be more fun.
I know. I missed that. Don't know what happened there.
Well, these are the things that people are holding on to as they get rid of them. Eventually, they aren't going to be able to get away with this stuff.
That's true. All right. Well, you also got some time in Final Fantasy X, or as the kids call it, 10.
Yeah. As it's known by Romans, 10, the 10th Final Fantasy. I've been playing Final Fantasy X. I am very close to finishing it. So, Scott, I hope Tsushima's going well.
It's on fire, but I'll get there.
It's still burning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: I've been really down on Final Fantasy X. There's a reason it's taken me 2.5 years to beat this game. Like, there have been times where this felt like the biggest slug, and it was always confusing to me because it was a game that everybody talked about so fondly. People put it as their number one Final Fantasy in the series and stuff, and I'm just looking at it like, how can you forgive this? In the back third of the game, it's starting to come together in a way where I'm like, oh, I get it. I kind of get it.
Do we forgive that though? Do we let them get off? Because this is a
well.
Do we let them get off?
I should have finished my sentence.
You shouldn't necessarily block that. Let people do what they want to do as long as they're not hurting anybody.
No edging.
To a degree. It's not uncommon for a Final Fantasy game to have a sudden spike in quality later in the game. I don't think it's good. I think a game should be, good from the beginning. But I think Final Fantasy X is interesting because to me, it feels like the more modern version of Final Fantasy II. And people are going to think that's me hating on it again because Final Fantasy II is widely considered the worst one. But I think of Final Fantasy II as experimental and very ahead of its time. The things you do in Final Fantasy II it's basically Bethesda leveling in Elder Scrolls. Years before that was how they were doing things. So to me, this game, a lot of people, it's time and place. This was their first Final Fantasy. This was their first big PS2 RPG. Also, I think a lot of people, when they played this game, this was their game. This is what they played. I'm playing it as, I need to get through this so I can go to the next Final Fantasy. And I think you approach things very differently when that's how you're playing the game versus, my mom gave me $60 for a video game. This is what I got. And this is all I'm going to have for the next 2 months on summer break. And it's all I'm going to play. And it's a game that's deep enough to allow for that and has a ton of crazy content and lots of things in there. So I also think part of it is who we are as gamers when we play this game now in modern times. I think we talk about it all the time, how much we have so many other games we could be playing. And when you're sitting there playing a game that's from the PlayStation 2 era, and you're looking at a backlog of games you want to play, when this game decides to waste your time with what feels like a stupid sphere puzzle for the 8th time, you're like, why are we doing this? This is awful. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But it just probably was different then. I probably would have loved that if I was all in on this back in the day. And so things are coming together in the game. The story has certainly gotten a lot better. The way the mechanics work have gotten better. And I've effectively gotten to the point in the game where the world is open, have an airship. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. And the question I have to ask myself is, how overpowered do I want to be before I go and finish the game? And that's where I'm at. So Scott, Tsushima, how's it going? Because I really think I'm going to be here next week telling you I beat this game.
You very well may be. I should take that as a challenge and freaking just do it and get done. And then we both can come triumphant to the table with the two things we've struggled to finish this year. I have no excuse, though. There is no...
Well, you're playing Donkey Kong, man. What the hell?
Yeah, I know, right? I got distracted by other shiny shit. John is when he gets locked in, he usually stays locked in, which is what's made this playthrough weird for you.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a different kind of difficulty, but I feel like I could do it. I want to. I love that game.
Look, he's making Final Fantasy X sound like a chore, and you were very good at describing why, because you're playing it now and you got other things to get to.
Right.
But I played this at launch. This was I bought a PS2, and Final Fantasy X was the reason for buying a PlayStation 2. And there were things I didn't love about it, like the blitzball kind of stuff was weird, but it was overall a very good game, and you didn't really worry about, like, when I played it, like, the stuff you didn't like didn't stand out as much because it wasn't a chore to play. It was the best.
It was a showcase for this machine too. I mean,
yeah.
Nothing
But
else looked as cool.
I think the one thing that was lamented was just, like, as the franchise has gone on, the open worldness of it, has pared away. And I think this was the first real feeling of, like, okay, everything's a corridor. Like, the whole game is you go from south to north, and maybe it opens up in the final area, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And that happened in 13 as well. 13's basically the same. But it was still, like, a lot of, it was still turn-based combat, epic animations, very dramatic story, and, it does pull together later, but, like, these were the best we had, so you liked the characters a lot, because you're like, damn, Lulu's got a lot of detail.
Man, everybody talks about Lulu, but I got to Unalesca, and nobody's talking about Unalesca, which is shocking, because I didn't know a character could proudly walk around with that little clothes on.
Oh, yeah.
I was genuinely shocked. But
wait, Yuna doesn't wear a lot of clothes? I thought maybe
not Yuna, Unalesca.
Oh.
We got a real Elden Ring situation here, because we got Yuna, we got Unalesca.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In fact, she's in this, Scott, in my video. If you want to clip ahead near the end, you can probably put her up. Because I do want to share. We can give some eye candy while I share this tragic story.
I mean, eye candy.
Is this her?
Like 5 polygons.
No, this is Shiva. Further than this.
Is it her?
There she is.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
let's go back a little.
I will tell one story from my gameplay, because for the most part, I have streamed this entire game. But there are things in Final Fantasy that I'm like, why am I streaming this? And a lot of the stuff that happens at the end of the game is grindy. Why do I need to show people me trying to catch 10 of every creature in every zone in the game? That's not fun. That's not fun for me. That's not fun for the people watching at home. So I've been playing a lot off stream as well when it comes to those chores. And I thought surely nothing is going to happen during this window that I'll wish had been captured on stream forever. And then one thing happened. One of the widely criticized, most annoying parts of this game is that in order to get Lulu's celestial weapon, one of the things you have to do is dodge 200 lightning bolts in the Thunder Plains.
Sounds terrible.
What that is,
all right.
it's a zone of the game, and while you're in that zone, every now and then the screen will flash white, and you have to press the A button, and then you will dodge a thunderbolt before it hits you. You have to do this.
Thunderbolt.
200 times consecutively. It's not on a set timer. It's kind of random when it happens. And unless you have something that prevents random encounters, you will also be attacked by monsters while you're doing it. It's obnoxious. It's a challenge. People, we already see it in chat. I did it. I hated it.
Yeah.
I lucked out. I got a random piece of armor that had the no encounter perk to it, so I was able to go do that. I went in there, and lightning went to strike me, dodged, and I proceeded to do that 205 times, just in case I was off on my counting.
Oh, my Lord.
So I make my way back to collect my reward. I'm glossing over how annoying doing the 200 was. Thankfully, I never messed up. I got 200 in a row first try. So I'm proud of that. I go, I pick up the item in the chest, I get it, and I'm like, we did it. I had the other pieces I needed for it. That was the big annoying part that I didn't need to do, or that I still had to do. So I go wandering across the Thunder Plains, proud of myself, proud of my accomplishment. And I see an NPC that I hadn't seen before. I talk to him, and he goes, "Infidel!" And he summons the Dark Aeon Ixion, and it instantly one-shot kills me before I saved the game.
Oopsies.
Wait a minute. So you did 200 and what of those stupid lightning?
205.
Oh, shit.
So
This would make me quit video games for about a month.
I sat there upset with myself and thought, okay, the PC version does have an
gosh.
autosave. Maybe there's an autosave that will save me from having to do 200 lightning bolt dodges again.
Let me guess.
So I look, sure enough, there's an autosave. I load it up. It loads, the screen flashes. It's an autosave on the start of the encounter. Now, this time, she doesn't instantly kill all of us. We're still up. So I'm sitting here thinking, there's no way I'm going to win this fight. It's not going to happen. The only thing I can think of at the moment is there's a summon in the game called Yojimbo. And there is a small % chance when you summon him that he will one-shot kill any creature in the game, including bosses.
Okay.
So I summon Yojimbo.
And none of this is being streamed. I just want to clarify that.
No, this is just me in my house, sad by myself.
Okay.
So I summon Yojimbo, out he comes, I pay him, he does a little basic attack, instantly gets murked, and then she kills the rest of my team.
Okay.
Reload. Summon Yojimbo. Apparently there's like a rapport system you build up with him, and sometimes he won't ask for money, which is nice. But he just comes out, does his weak shit attack, and gets killed, and then everybody dies. Go back, do it again. I do this multiple times in the hopes I'm going to one-shot kill this boss, and it is not happening.
Okay.
And I understand that this is upsetting to cats. Bear with me. We'll get there.
He's getting fed right now.
You're fine.
So finally I go, I pay. He gets, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do the one-hit kill. Come back. She kills Yojimbo. She kills Yuna. She kills Waka. Tidus is just standing there looking like a tool. And I went, what am I going to do? Am I going to just try this until eventually maybe I get it?
Yeah.
And then I noticed that usually for big bosses, it's not available. But for this boss in particular, Tidus's ability to flee is there.
Okay.
And it lets me run away from the fight.
Really?
And
Nice.
I successfully ran away and saved. So I
Oh,
saved it.
my
I only had to dodge the lightning 205 times, not 410.
Good
So-
Lord, dude. That would have been an amazing moment to capture, though. You're right.
I was like, man, people would have loved to see this. Unfortunately, that's not... Yes, I Sir Robined out of there. It wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to win this fight. Those Dark Aeons are no joke. It's maybe the only thing I don't like about the end game is they throw these random, insanely tough bosses just in different spots, and you just walk into them, and they're like, surprise, super boss fight. You have no chance of winning right now. It's like, wow, why is this here?
Yeah.
But I'm having fun doing some of the weird chores. I'm debating whether or not I want to do Blitzball. Like, Waka is my favorite character to play. And So there is a part of me that's like, well, I should get his celestial weapon, but it means doing the blitzball minigame, and I don't think I can bring myself to do it. I would have rather dodged 410 lightning bolts than learned blitzball.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But that's how Final Fantasy X is going.
All right, we're getting close, though. That's the important thing. All right.
And then I will just casually mention I'm continuing to play Magic the Gathering Arena, just jumping in there every now and then. I've just been having fun with the starter Sephiroth deck. I haven't felt the need to try to build anything better. I'm just having fun with it. When it works, it works. There's something satisfying when you know you've made someone rage quit and like they end really early. You're like, well, this didn't go well for them. I feel bad, but it also makes me laugh. Yeah. And so in spite of the rant earlier, I'm really enjoying Magic the Gathering, you guys.
All right.
It's good.
Nice.
When they concede early, it's fine. It's when you get 3 timeouts, so it's when they like close the client and leave you waiting there for like 5 minutes while their timeouts burn through. That's aggravating. Yeah. But also satisfying because you're like, man, they're so mad at me right now. They just left. The only way they can punish me is by burning their timer clock.
No,
my wife was watching me play, and I was playing against the guy, and she goes, "Oh, are you going to summon Sephiroth?" Because she was watching, and she saw him there, and I said, "No, I'm going to pull Sephiroth out next turn because he's going to play a bunch more baddies because he was doing like a red deck where he throws out a bunch of like creatures and stuff down, and they're all low cost. And my Sephiroth card, when it comes out, it lowers everything by 2/2 when he comes out, so it's going to clear the field. I was like, I'm waiting one more round because when Sephiroth gets played, it's gonna make them sad. It's gonna create depression. I said, when Sephiroth shows up, the other person has to quit, and then the other person played Sephiroth. And I was like, she just started laughing at me. She's like, were you expecting that? And I was like, no, but I'm still going to win. It's fine.
Wow. Well, continue down your path of enlightenment. And I can't wait to hear next week about more. Beau, I looked at your list, and I thought, did you become me this week? And
a little bit.
And I don't mean by volume. I actually own every one of these, with the exception of Fighting Fantasy Classics, and that's it. The rest of these I have.
Pizza Tower?
I do, and it's great. I've talked about it before. It's basically Wario 4, but an indie version of it, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Well, so I've been playing my usual games, and I just like I said, we talked about in the pre-show. My legs have been bothering me a bit, so I was having a hard time. I've been playing lots of Valheim, and I was like, I need to play something different, but I don't know what. I was kind of in a mood, so I tried. I was like, let me try some games I bought and didn't get through. So some of these I haven't played too much. Now, Pizza Tower, we'll just start with all the games I played around with. Pizza Tower is, I describe it as Sonic the Hedgehog, but if you hate yourself a little bit.
I love that description.
Like, it's full of trolling noises and just the ugliest art.
Oh, it's 90s as hell. Like they really went for a certain aesthetic here, and they kind of nailed it. But if you don't like that aesthetic, it ain't gonna work.
Well, I kind of bought it because I'm like, oh, this looks trolly and funny, and thought it would be hilarious, and it is. But the sound design in this game is designed to it's not relaxing at all. No. It's trolly and the pizzas go meh or whatever.
I mean, mechanically it plays just like Wario, not WarioWare, but the Wario adventure games.
I haven't played the Wario games. That's why I guess they use Sonic, but it's just it wants you to go fast, power through things, and do the levels. Yeah. I gotta say, wasn't feeling the game. Yeah. It's not bad by any stretch. It looks exactly like what it is. You run through levels and do things. It just wasn't what I was in the mood for. So I gave it a bit of time, did the first 2 worlds. And I think I get that you're supposed to go back and try to get an S score and stuff. It doesn't,
there's a bunch
to
of
its
that.
credit, it doesn't try to explain things, although it's pretty intuitive.
Yeah.
I just was like, I can't. I had my fill. After an hour or 2 of playing, I'm like, I've got enough. I get what this game is. I don't feel like playing it, and turn it off.
I'm scared about the next one because I have big love for this game.
So,
Did you like this
I thought maybe
one?
John talked about this at some point.
I think both Scott and I talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I was looking for something easy to play. I was feeling a little bit, my back and my leg hurt, and I was like, I didn't want anything mechanically too challenging, and I just want a fun, satisfying game. So I was like, oh, Roundguard is kind of like, Pachinko, Peggle, with a fantasy veneer. It was all right. I did a run. And, I mean, we've talked about it before, so nothing new. Your ball is a hero from fantasy, like a barbarian or wizard.
Yep.
You shoot it, it bounces off other things, it does attacks, and you upgrade your run by getting random items. Yeah. It was all right. It was a good little time waster, but it was a little too simple. I was like, okay, like mainly you aim the thing and then wait for it to do stuff. And
there's a lot of RNG.
Yeah,
well, that's
Peggle.
Enjoyable. It was only enjoyable for so long. Like after
it's Peggle with extra steps.
Yeah, Peggle with RPG elements and levels.
So
I guess.
I didn't hate it. I enjoyed my run, but also it wasn't one that I was going to keep playing for a long time.
Sure.
But, cool little game. You know, it's fine. Sound was much better than Pizza Tower. I will say that. Pizza Tower is such a troll game.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I've been playing lots of Slay the Spire, and I was like, I should try some of these other single-player guard games I haven't tried yet. And so I booted up a Wildfrost, which again I think is one Scott has played.
Oh, I like Wildfrost. Yeah, good game.
And so I want to say Wildfrost. It's kind of more like Gordian Quest, where you have 2 lanes where you can put combat units in, and the enemy has combat units. Then you play a card a turn to do things. It reskins a lot of the mechanics from games, like to slow things down, you put snowballs on them. Instead of getting armor, you get walnuts, which acts as armor because it's got a cute woodland animals, cutesy people theme, which all works. It's great. But it's and you do damage to people and things happen once the action countdown timer runs low. It was all right. It wasn't what I was looking for from a mechanic standpoint from a game. I wasn't looking for like an army battler. I kind of wanted more something along the lines of Tainted Grail or Slay the Spire. So I just find it's very different because usually when you have units like in Monster Train or in this kind of game, your deck, it's less about like deck builds as much, if that makes sense. Like your decks are usually small, they usually perform pretty consistently, and there's not like any deck science. Whereas like if you play a game like Slay the Spire or Tainted Grail, it's focusing very much on like what your deck is comprised of and how you can make that effective. And so I'm not saying one is good or bad. I'm just saying they're sort of very distinct subgenres within the single player card game. And so I was like, I don't really want to do tactical card battler. So, but it's good. It was like very beautiful, very well animated, good sound and stuff like that. Worthwhile purchase. I played a little bit of it. Yeah. So Wildfrost was good. And then I got into Backpack Hero. And while I can see it's a little indie gem, I bounced off it pretty quick.
Oh man,
I did not actually like it all that much, to be honest.
I like this game. This one held me for quite a bit.
I don't mind all the mechanics in it. Like, there's nothing wrong with the game. I just was playing it, and I'm like, I was just not interested. So
yeah,
I didn't play that much.
I had these. You're describing weeks I have all the time where I'm just like, I don't know what I want to play. I'm gonna try all this shit. I don't know if that did it for me.
Yeah, and I have hundreds of games I haven't played in my library, like literally over 100. Like it's not even exaggerating. Like I pick up all these games or they get bought for me now from the lovely, wonderful people in our community who decide to give me things. And I'm the kind of player that's just like no lives, whatever's like, cooking my cheese, melting my cheese or whatever that, and it's like right now it's Valheim. That's all I eat, drink, sleep, shit, Valheim, like, and that's just what's happening.
Yeah.
So it's hard to for me to really give myself over to something unless it wins me over. Like I'm just like, what is this piece of crap? And then I'm like, best game ever. Like Elden Ring kind of did that.
Sure.
Or Night Rain did that, where I didn't think I was going to want to play it, and all of a sudden I'm like, this is amazing. So you try these games and you hope maybe they'll pull you in a big way, and none of them did, but they're all great. They're all good games. I don't want to speak negatively about them. They just weren't doing it for me.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Then.
So I tried a bunch of games. I had a Scott week, and there was one other thing I checked out. This was actually from the week before, but it's worth mentioning just because I got really curious about this. I was on a random stream and saw someone had it up. I was like, "What the hell is that?" You guys remember fighting fantasy books from back in the day?
Vaguely, yeah. Kind of.
There used to be these Peter Jackson Games books. I think Dungeons and Dragons had like also these choose your own adventure style games where it was a little different because you had health, skill, and luck, and like you did your own single player combats while doing the book. So they put all the books online basically, and there's like a couple of free books on there, and you can just get it on Steam. So I tried it out, and it's like I think it's literally just the old paperback books in this form, and it's just text, but it automates some of the dice rolling and all that stuff, so you don't have to do it on your own. It was all right.
Yeah,
it was okay.
I kind of like that.
But it was kind of a blast from the past kind of thing. But I'm almost like I think I'd rather just get like an old book for the nostalgia and figure that out.
That one's
like
free on Steam, you said?
Yeah, like they have one of the books. It's like pay per book, right? But they give you a free book, and then you can download the client. It works kind of like a has its own store or whatever. Right, so
right.
I was able to try out the pirates. There's a pirate one.
Nice.
Yeah, it's interesting, but just in case if anyone here remembers Fighting Fantasy and was like, oh, I want to check that out, like it's worth the free download and like 30 minutes of looking at it to see what it's about, and if you kind of want to get into it, it's kind of cool. Like to me, it's the kind of thing I might like stream.
Right.
It's like we're reading a book together.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do reading book streams. I know it sounds weird because it'd just be me sitting there reading, but I'm like, we need to promote more reading.
I agree.
And reading of good stuff. Like, how do you translate that into the live stream space?
Dramatic
there is
readings.
like the read the book and do the book club thing, but I mean the actual act of reading.
Yeah, you could do dramatic Beau readings though. You could do like voices.
Yeah, I guess there's those performances. You always got to watch out about copyright. These are copyrighted works unless they're like old, I suppose.
Yeah.
But something along those lines where it's just like a reading thing. Like I don't know, but this would be an example of something you could probably just read along with chat or something.
Sure.
Anyway.
Sure.
So those are the new games I tried. I watched a lot of Starcraft 2. Like I said, my leg was kind of injured this week, and I ended up watching more stuff than playing. So I was playing a lot of Starcraft 2 and playing tons of Slay the Spire. By the way, they added a 4th class into that game.
What?
Which I did not know.
I couldn't
even find any gameplay of it anywhere or anything. The reason I know is because the Mystic, she's in the board game. And I was like, what is this class? I guess they added a class for the board game. So I played the video game version. I'm like, there's a whole ass new class and new cards. And I
had no idea.
I don't know when they added it, where it came from. For the longest time, it was only 3 classes, the Ironclad, Silent, and the Defect. So I don't know where the 4th one came from, but there's like new content in the game.
Huh.
So even the video you're showing to our live stream viewers is just Defect, because I couldn't find the Mystic like anywhere. I could not find. It was all not the Mystic. So, anyways,
man, that game's art.
If you like Slay the Spire, there is
so
a
ugly.
New class. I know you hate the art.
I do. I can't wait for the second one to see what they do.
This is this wheel coming around because I bashed Vampire Survivors for its look all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, made it a weekend.
Yeah.
It's like a big meme. And then every time Slay the Spire gets mentioned, you're like, look at this ugly ass piece of
it's
shit
so ugly.
game.
It's such a great game. I love the game.
You're being like me about this game.
Mechanically, it's incredible. It's the GOAT for a reason. It's just so damned ugly. And I understand. It's one guy when he started it. It's not going to have a team of all this experts and everything. But the new one, it'll be interesting because it's going to have to not stray too far, right?
It's still going to be in the style.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think they've locked in. They like that style. They think that's the style. I don't think it's going to change.
I'll bet it improves. I'll bet it looks better. It just stays in the world of.
Maybe. We must. I wonder if they.
We get like a trailer or something.
Stuff of it. We have to know.
Yeah,
there has to already be an answer to this.
It looks the same.
I think it looks better. Hold on,
Slay. It's more animated. Spire. It's better animated for sure.
No, it is exactly the same, Scott.
Hold on to your butts.
It's animated better. Maybe everything being animated better might actually improve the look of things. Just go to Steam and look.
Oh yeah, this looks way. You guys are insane. This looks way better. And and some of that is animation.
Yeah.
But look at these characters actually move.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it, man. Like,
If it changes your opinion, I don't think this looks. I think this looks better animated. I think it looks exactly the same from an artist.
I think if you put them side by side, you'll notice the differences. But also, I appreciate the fact that this dude made many millions of dollars, and also understands what it means to not stray too far from the look of the first one, or else he'd be in trouble. Like, not in trouble, but people would be like, they would not want that. They want to be consistent with the previous game. So I think this is a really nice, sneaky little mix of both. I think it's an improvement on almost every level, proportionally, color-wise, certainly animation. This is a better looking game.
Yeah, this is a planned release for 2025, so there's going to be at least a week where I'm just out and just playing this. At least.
I'm pretty excited.
Beau can't be on core. He's playing video games. He can't talk about
them.
I don't mean core. I just mean like from other things, right? And
life.
You know, when I get obsessive and play a lot of something, this will be like taking up a chunk of time.
Yeah.
Could even already, if it's good, it'll be on the game of the year list for me for sure.
Yeah. I expect big things. That and Monster Train 2 coming out in the same year. People are eating well on the.
And I don't think they're early access doers. I think this will just come out.
Oh, it'd be nice.
As a launch product.
That'd be great.
I wonder. I
like finished things.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I hope so. All right. Anyway, on a slate of Spire.
Yeah.
And last, let's wrap this up by talking about this week in multiplayer Valheim. It was a dramatic one, and it was so bad. Crofton even reached out to try and like coach me on what I was going to say on the show this week.
Why are there two of you in this video?
Because this is me watching a recap. The video you're watching is the pounding we got in the Ashlands.
Oh,
because it was so bad, I had to go back and watch what happened.
Look at you laughing up there.
So part of the deal is like the spawns are like hyper spawns in the Ashlands. Like they're just hordes of enemies, and we were playing 4 players, right? So there's a fortress, and we have to bring a battering ram to break down the door of the fortress to get inside and get the goodies and fight the monsters.
Like you do.
Our base is pretty far away from the fortress, but thankfully we can break down the battering ram and build it on location. So the 4 of us go out to walk across the continent and get to the fortress. And what we're watching right here on the video is we kind of rolled bad RNG on the number of monsters. So in Valheim, when something is a 1-star monster, it is like quadruple. It's like quad damage. Like it does so much more damage. We encountered a 2-star, which is like 8 to 16x more. Like they'll basically just one-shot you. And these, they're called Morgan, but we just call them Kool-Aid Man because they literally just, like they'll destroy your structures. They just burst through rocks and burst everywhere. So we were fighting a 2-star Kool-Aid Man and also a 1-star Kool-Aid Man and also this new enemy called a Fallen Valkyrie, which flies and does AoE and rains fire. So this is like, we're just like, oh man, we just fought like a whole bunch of hard monsters and everyone but me died because I ran away using them as sacrifices as I go to a portal. And
That's
and
great.
whatever. So now in Valheim, when you die, you have to go get your corpse, all your good gears on it, and it's in the middle of that catastrophic pile of enemies. Not unsurmountable, but here's the thing about how Valheim works.
Did that change recently? You had to loot your own corpse, or is that
no? That's always been the case.
Been there, okay.
You also lose you like you have like Skyrim like skills. You lose skill points from dying. It's more severe the higher you are. And when you're in the first 20 points, it doesn't really matter. But like,
how high were you?
Well, I didn't die, but let's say if I'm at 70 points, I might lose 4 points of running, and that might be like 3 hours of work to get that running back or something like that. Like it's pretty punishing. So 3 people died, and then but Mike died at a safe location. So we're like to recover. Basically, we've got to slowly, and you guys are MMO players, so I know you all understand these mechanics.
Yeah,
we've got to slowly progress through where we were. Not over aggroing too much and kill the enemies one at a time.
Yep.
Okay. So we're in the base. I'm like, all right, everyone eat up. When you don't have equipment, you're like naked and very vulnerable. So Mike got his stuff back easily. I, of course, am a goated gamer and was just fine. I got away. Now, you can't teleport with metal. This is important to the story. I threw my metal out on the ground in front of the portal before going back to the home base. Okay. So before we made this plan, Crofton and Pepperoni Pete were kind of running back with chickens with their heads cut off to try and like run and get your corpse and run back. Sometimes you just try to do like a hero run. And they did this 3 or 4 times and died 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, the monsters are too hard. They're nuking you. You can't pick up your equipment. But in all of this, Crofton picked up the metal I threw on the ground and then Panic threw it on the ground somewhere in some pit that we could never find. That metal was important because we needed the metal for the battering ram, which was the whole point of being there. So now we can't build a battering ram. But I didn't piece together that he just tossed the metal in some hole somewhere there. Even in the video you're watching, that's me throwing the metal out. You can't teleport with metal in your thing.
Oh my god!
So he runs through with it in his empty corpse, picks it up, and then panic brains, throws it on the ground somewhere, and gets killed. And didn't mark on the map where he dropped it or anything. So we have no idea where it is. And this was the whole point of the mission: was to take the metal to the fortress, build the battering ram, and go in the fortress. But before we even figured out that mistake Crofton made, we said, "Okay, you're having a hard time getting your corpses, so." What I want you to do, Pepperoni Pete and Crofton, is hang behind us, and we're going to slowly kill one monster at a time, controlling the battlefield. Okay? So the first up is that 2-star Kool-Aid man, and Crofton and I are fighting it, doing a great job. Not Crofton and I, Mike and I are fighting it, getting it down, and no second that, and Pepperoni Pete is being good. He's kind of hiding behind us. But no more than 3 seconds after we engage the 2-star Morgan, Crofton runs over the hill into the pile of enemies.
These don't despawn, right? They stay forever.
They don't despawn. They're there, like it's persistent.
Okay.
Yes. So, unless you kill them and then they go away.
Well, right. Yeah, that's the idea.
MMO. It's like an MMO. They go away for a while.
Right.
But we didn't notice because we're busy fighting a 2-star. And then Pepperoni Pete's like, "Hey, why did Crofton run over the hill? Should I run over the hill?" And I'm like, "No." And Crofton, we just literally said, "Wait behind us." And he's like, "I'm going to get my corpse, man. That's what we're supposed to do." And I'm like, "We're fighting it too." Okay. And then so I'm just like, "Listen, if you want to run off into a pile of enemies and die again, that's great. Don't bring them back to us because we're fighting a hard monster right now. Don't bring them back
yeah,
to
we
us."
already know. We've played enough MMOs.
Don't bring
we know
them back
how this
to
is
us.
going.
And then Pepperoni Pete, this is why I watched the replay. Pepperoni Pete also couldn't just sit still, and he aggroed a 1-star Kool-Aid man. So we're fighting a 2-star Kool-Aid man, 1-star Kool-Aid man. Still survivable, okay? But, we attributed the mistake to Crofton in the moment, which he's been using to try and exonerate himself completely, which is just bullshit. So at one point, we're fighting the 2-star. I'm telling him not to come over, and he's going, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" We turn around, and he like Han Solo'd 8 monsters. He's running over the hill with half of his clothes on, and 8 like monsters are chasing him over the hill. And he totally did what we asked him not to do, and I died as a result of it, and I barely die. I was so mad. I was not paying attention to the 2-star Kool-Aid man I was fighting, and I mistimed a dodge and died. And I was like, "Oh man,
I have some advice."
What a teammate! and then he lost. Then we figured out he lost the Flametal too. So
of
once
course,
we stabilized and killed all the monsters.
Oh, you didn't even know. You didn't even know where the metal
know
was. At this
the
point.
cardinal
build the
sin that had been
battering ram.
committed already.
We carved a path across the whole continent to bring that Flametal, because you can't teleport with it, to battering ram the fortress and open it up. And when we were finally ready to open it up, no Flametal. And like, in order to do this again, we have to go back to the base and re-bring the Flametal across the continent. And there's respawns in this game. And so we called it a night.
Yeah, I would do that too. I have some advice for you, by the way. If the zombies ever start in Canada, there'll be a tendency to want to like get your family and friends together to survive together. I would recommend leaving Crofton wherever he is and not let him come be part of the survivor group.
You know, I think that might be sage advice potentially. Now, I just want to show you because that video you linked has the moment where he did do the thing where he brought everyone over.
How far in is it?
Let me give you the timestamp.
Okay.
1 sec. It's like, I'm just looking for it. I think it's like later on, 1604.
1604.
All right, anyways, that's the
all right.
answer.
We'll get some audio too. 1604, you say?
Maybe it's a little farther. Hang on, I'm still trying to isolate it because that fight was pretty long. Okay, go to 1640.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, geez, we would have been watching a while.
Yeah.
The 1 star.
Crofton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait,
That's like the literal moment where he like actually. Well, that Morgan was still there. Yeah, so yeah.
Brought the fucking army to
Yes, the slow mo. It sounds funny too. You brought the fucking army, dude. That's me like bitching about what the hell. Literally fighting this monster, and there's Crofton running with 8.
I
people.
love the Crofton stories. I love them. I mean, I
What a
know.
guy. And so
I love that he's basically a sitcom character. Like, you can literally picture, it's in so many things where it's like you go through so much and it's like, well, at least we made it through that. Where's the flame metal?
Yeah.
And it just cuts to him.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta tell you something about the flame metal.
Yeah. No, he's also the guy.
What he said was it was my fault for throwing it in front of the portal.
But
And I was like, well, you should have noticed you picked it up and just marked where you, like, there's 100 things you could have done. Marked where you dropped it. Don't drop it. Drop it right away when you're like, I picked something up. I noticed that there's a little icon on the top left where you pick. Oh, let me just drop that because I don't want to take that far. Beau probably needs that. No thinking at all. Just toss it in a hole somewhere in the freaking lava world, and
that is
not
the
even
greatest
realizing
thing.
it's the whole point. Having that is the whole point. We're doing all of this, and you know. So, and this was the argument we've been having in our chat channel, is because Pepperoni Pete actually aggroed the first 1-star Morgan, that he's been exonerated, like that it was his fault. And I'm like, no, you ran first. And, you know, yes, that was like, I'm attributing blame where it's supposed to go, but he literally brought 9 months. It doesn't exonerate him from bringing the army over the hill. Because one was like an accidental positioning error. The other one was, please don't run that way. And then with malice of forethought, run that direction. And then when we ask, don't bring them back to us. Bring all 9 enemies back to us while we're fighting one of the hardest monsters we've ever fought so far in the game.
That's unbelievable.
And,
I love it.
Anyway, so that's the drama in Valheim this week. I don't know what our Sunday sessions are going to be like. I'm sure we're all going to make up and be friends again. It's not that serious. It's just video games. But it's the most tilted I've been, I think, playing with Crofton ever. It's like literally just didn't care about his teammates.
Well, he pulled some pretty dark schmear in the.
He's probably listening right now, and he's probably going to be like very upset that I'm smearing his name in such a way.
Well, let me do something real fast here. I'm going to share with you who I think Crofton is in another video game. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up. Give me a moment here.
Okay.
I believe that Crofton is, and I'll circle it. I think he's that guy right there. And that's
What's
the
the
guy, if you
character's
remember,
name?
while no one's looking, he's taking cash out of a register, even though cash is useless in the zombie apocalypse. He's always got a little sneaky plan going. Don't trust him. That's all I'm saying. So Crofton, if you're listening, you're the guy in the suit in Left 4 Dead 2. Go look up the trailer.
We're talking about him. He's definitely listening.
Yeah, he can hear
He's
it.
definitely listening. As long, you can be guaranteed if he doesn't make an appearance on the show, he didn't listen to the show.
That's a good point.
But if we talked about him on the show, he's going to listen, and probably only to those sections. So He's probably listening at 5x speed till we get to the cross.
Well, I love it. I thought him pickpocketing people at random in
Actually,
Baldur's
I
Gate.
think he just gets Ryan Murphy to just clip out the pieces for him.
Yeah, he's outsourced his finding his content in core.
Good Lord.
Just make Ryan do it.
Hi, Ryan. By the way,
Hey, Ryan. We love Ryan. Ryan's
Been a
great.
while. Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Thank you for
but-
listening to the whole show, just so
I know-
Crofton doesn't have to do shit.
That's right.
I know Ryan is a core enjoyer, and then we'll take out the Crofton bits and then send it to him and be like, look what Slander Beau has come up with this week.
That's right. That's right. Well, I look
I mean,
forward
to be
more.
fair, he did commit a lot of cardinal sins. Now, I don't know his familiarity with MMOs, but I think any MMO player could see the pitfalls.
Zero?
and the
Like it'd say 0 to like one,
Okay.
on that front. Like he's not like us. He's not a seasoned online MMO player and understands things like teamwork and cooperation very well.
No, but he's got some Leroy Jenkins energy.
But yes, he's like in his 40s and he's played video games for 30 years. The instruction, do not bring the enemies back to your teammates, is pretty clear by this point. It's a pretty clear instruction.
I love that you still got beef about it.
And then, like, it's also pretty clear, like, just hang out behind us and then we're going to carve a path and you'll get your armor. Just, cheer us on, like, cheer your buddies on for 5 minutes while it's not going to take long.
Never change,
No,
Crofton.
like,
Never change.
3 seconds in, we literally open the fight up, get a few hits in, and there's Crofton. When I look back, I did not notice playing the game. I was too busy concentrating until Pepperoni pointed it out. But
That makes it even better when you bring it.
but when I watch it, I caught him red-handed in the VOD, like running on like second 2 of the pull over the hill, into like a bunch of enemies, thinking, like saying like we had a new plan. Anyways, whatever. Just yeah,
it is. It is.
unbelievable.
I hope.
Unbelievable week.
I look forward to more Valheim tales from Valheim. We'll have a whole segment dedicated to it, which we kind of just did. All right, let's get to this right here real quick before we get out of here today. Whoops, I'm in the wrong place. Why? Okay, now I am. Whoops, why?
That's a good question.
All right, hey, we got a quick thing. This is a Josh on the Xbox handheld, and he sent it in an AI voice, so here it is.
Hey, Corehounds. I was listening to the segment on the Xbox ROG Ally last week, and you guys were talking about whether it was worth it or not. The specs of the new one and the new Xbox OS really make it intriguing. I dock my Gen 1 Z Extreme to my TV every day, and it plays all the games just fine on the TV that it does on the box itself. Also, there is no better Steam Link xCloud device out there. If the new one has an official dock, it really is a great meld of both worlds, much like the Switch. Even a third-party one will work in my experience. Love the show? Keep it up.
Okay, the only beef I have with that is there is no new Xbox OS. It is running a version of Windows, and it has an overlay thing, like a layer, a little bit like Steam, like a launcher, that you can go full screen, think of big picture mode in Steam, that will behave that way. There's no like specialized OS coming with this thing. That may not be a big deal to him, but I thought I would point that out. But yeah, it makes a good point. If this thing is hyper portable and powerful enough to look great on your TV and easily dock back and forth, might sell might do okay at $800, $900, whatever they're going to sell for. Or no, we figured it out. It was like $1,200 for the big one, for the nice one.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they're going to actually do okay. I just don't know if I'm in the market for what I do.
I mean, ultimately, I think the problem with us talking about it is I don't think that we're the audience for it. So
Right.
I mean, even just with the, you have a Steam Deck and you have a Nintendo Switch too, like, you need another handheld?
No.
Probably not. I
can
mean,
count on one finger the amount of times I've used the Switch 2 undocked. So, it's just not how not how I consume games, and I'm not saying and everybody else is like me.
no, of course not.
Not saying that, but this is always going to feel overpriced to me because it would be spending a lot of money for something I don't use.
Yeah. And we already know, chat's still going on about the OS. We know what it is. It's Windows. It's literally Windows 11. You'll be able to use a mouse and keyboard with it. You'll be able to run OBS and Discord and all the things Windows runs. It's not going to be that different than Windows. They're not stripping that much out of it. They're just putting in this overlay thing, which I think is cool. I'm actually looking forward to playing with that on on PC because they're going to put it there too. But do not expect some crazy OS thing happening with that device. It is not happening. Well, there you have it. That's our call for the week. That was sent to the 10hams.com line, 10hams.com. Use it on the frequent, and we may just read or play your call right here on the show. I want to thank new patrons David M. and Chris Penwell for joining us this week. Brand new patrons. They're pretty stoked because they're going to get no commercials or ads. That's pretty cool, all on its own. But then they're also going to get cool monthly art in the mail, video game related stuff. I just did 2 months in advance because I got some stuff coming up, and they look great, and they'll look even better on your walls. Other special host stuff. We got all kinds of crap, all kinds of reasons to sign up. I started doing, by the way, this isn't for patrons, but started doing something called Core Bits. And it's basically if there's like a interesting bit of news during the week, I'll make a quick TikTok /short/ Instagram reel just talking about it. Just a little beef,
I should get into the shorty TikToks because it's not like it's a ton of content. I'm always like, oh, time for a bonus show, 2 hours. Here we go.
Yeah, it's easy. It's fast. You just whip them out and put them up. And anyway, if you guys enjoy that sort of stuff, check out our YouTube channel, linked at frogpants.com/core. But anyway, all those reasons to sign up for Patreon and none not to. That's patreon.com/core show. It's going to do it for us. We usually have Grandma read us the games we played, and I don't think we should change that tradition. So, Grandma, take it away.
Well, I hear you. You didn't pay attention. Well, here's the games you missed.
Yeah.
That's what you get. You get to hear me say it. You get the shame of knowing it took an old woman to remind you what you missed because you were busy playing on the second screen.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, Captain of Industry, Final Fantasy X, Magic the Gathering Arena, Pizza Tower, Roundguard, Wildfrost, Backpack Hero, Fighting Fantasy Classics, Slay the Spire, and Valheim.
Man, what a succinct reading of today's games. I'm very impressed,
Well, I
Grandma.
figure they didn't have the attention span to listen to the whole show. They better get it out there before they get distracted with their doodads and their whatsits.
I agree. Now, here's your blanket. Here's your remote. Get back to your programs and come back next week and read those again. That's going to do it for us. Why don't you guys at home go play some video games, and we'll see you here next week at the Hot Fires of Core. We'll see you then.
Once upon a time, there was a hero named you. Find the next step of your quest at frogpants.com.
But the whole place still smelled like bananas.
Okay, Pauline.